Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to my channel. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I salute you. Let me play my intro before we continue. Hope everybody is doing very well tonight. Happy Sunday. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Bridget David, can you hear me? Quem of Natural. Yeah, Jux babe, you're here today. Thank you very much for being here. Can you hear me? Just confirm if you can hear me, please. Yes, you can hear me. Yeah, I told you guys our audio problem is solved forever in Jesus' name. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Back to back, oh, I'm telling you, the yin with Melanie. My legs are yesterday one was almost 4 hours. I'm telling you. It was almost 4 hours. If not that we have a guest today and we've been planning this for some time now, I would have, perhaps said I shouldn't do any show today because yesterday I was tired, but I've had enough rest. I've been in bed all day. I didn't lift my finger to do nothing. So yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much for caring about my well-being as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Please give this video a thumbs up. I've got a guest in the studio. Her name is Betty and she's come here to basically testify to what God has done for her. She's going to share her story, and she has come here today because she wants a lot of women to learn from her experience. And as usual, I ask you to please respect her, listen with an open heart, and take what you will of her situation. This is not my story. This is not your story. This is her story. So she's going to tell it herself. We're not here to shame anybody. We're not here to condemn anybody. We are here to learn. And we are also here. Uh, we are here to learn new things that we may not be aware of. Somebody came in the studio just now. Did you give the link to someone?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised. Somebody just came into the studio.
Oh, is this studio? I'm so sorry, Auntie B. I didn't know
You
you
passed
were
the link to
studio.
someone.
Oh
Mm.
my
Because it's
god.
only you I gave the link to, but somebody just came into the studio.
Oh, I'm
Yemi.
so sorry
Is it you
about
that
that.
gave it to him?
Yeah, I thought it was the YouTube one.
No. Okay, so he's here. Do you want him to be here?
Uh, I expected that everyone watching me should watch me from YouTube. But it's okay
Yeah, a lot
since
of
it's
people are
here.
coming here. They are coming here. It's like you shared it with other people. Another Tunde
Oh,
is
I'm
used
so
the link
sorry.
as well. Yeah. Don't share that link because if you share it, they can
Okay.
come into the studio. Please don't come into the studio. Just listen. She
Yeah,
wants to
from
share the.
YouTube.
Yeah, listen on YouTube, please. Don't come into the studio. You don't need to be in the studio for now. I will
Okay.
share the link when I'm ready. Because you gave it to people, they can come with that link.
Oh, I'm
I
so
don't
sorry. I
usually
didn't know.
share it until I'm ready, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, without any other further ado, let's welcome Betty. Hello, Betty. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Auntie B. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry. I don't know how the link works.
No,
I
it's
know
fine.
that
It's
yeah,
fine.
okay. So thank God
It's
you're fine
fine.
with that. Okay,
Yeah,
first,
it's okay. It's for your
okay.
own. It's for your own protection.
Oh,
For
okay.
me, I'm
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, but obviously these are people that you know. So if you share it with them, that's fine.
okay.
But we can allow them to talk later if they want to. It's allowed. But this Yemi is relentless. So I keep taking him off. He will come in. I'll take him off. He will come
I'm so sorry. It's just it's just an
He's
old
relentless.
that's childhood friend.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Go ahead then. You're welcome, Sister Betty. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and please, the Lord has kept me this far. In as much as I don't
Everybody,
want to sound religious, but that is the truth.
it's okay to don't be ashamed of your religion. It's nothing to be
Yeah.
ashamed of. This is your story, and if God has kept you, then definitely all glory to God. Please
Okay.
don't be ashamed to say it. Okay. This is you, and this is all about you. Everybody in the comment section is welcoming you.
Okay, thank you
And
so much.
yeah, so one thing that I love about your story, even though I haven't heard it fully, is the fact that you said, I had to leave because of my children, to save myself and to save my children.
Yeah,
Wow. I wish we had more people come up to say things like that. Then we will not have some of the heartbreaking stories we've been having recently. Well
yeah.
done. I celebrate you for having the courage to do that. And
Thank you.
yeah, if you're ready, just take us through the story from Nigeria, how everything went between you and, the person that you were with, and how you got to Canada and where we are today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Auntie B. First of all, I want to say special thank you to Auntie B for giving me the opportunity to share my story on this platform. You are doing an amazing job. Great job. May God bless you and your family. My special
Amen.
shout out is to Bodo Farm for their advice and support. One love to you all. I enjoy a lot of stories. I know I have learned a lot. A lot of people too have learned from this platform. Oh, I wish I had this opportunity before enslaving myself in an unhappy marriage.
Mm,
Had to take courage to say this because I wanted to set myself free. You know, the process of taking everything away and sharing my story gives me happiness. Then I would have known if I had known anyway, if I'd had opportunity to, if there were Obodo Yibo TV the time I got married, I'm sure it would have made me have a better choice of
mm,
spouse. It would have been a lot, I want to be sharing this story, but it's okay,
mm.
that was that time. But now is
Yeah,
another time. Yeah.
absolutely.
So it would have been easy to spot all the red flags that I later noticed in marriage. There were so many red flags that, of course, there were pointers. There were things that happened that I didn't even take cognizance of. My story is about domestic violence. It started while I was in Nigeria. Even though we had been together in Canada as landed immigrants, he didn't stop. In all the 13 years of marriage, I knew no peace. I was dealing with physical abuse, inferiority complex, unhealthy and unwarranted competition, and a whole lot
Mm,
of mental torture. Let me share a little story about the early days we met in the bank before consolidation. That bank consolidation that happened 2006. So after consolidation, we had to change jobs. I was still in the banking sector. He went to another establishment, another company, but somehow we're working in the same location. And despite there was no, we're in the same place. He would that made it very easy for us to connect. So he would pick me up in the morning from my house, come from his own location, pick me up around 6 a.m., take me to work. Then after work, return together to my own house. So just to show how much he showered me with attention, love in quotes. All of this, as soon as we're married, changed. He became a totally different person. He wanted me to stop working and stay home full time, which I objected. By this time, a lot of things had changed. There was so much mental torture from him that I started struggling with my self esteem. He reduced me to a nobody, complaining about everything I did. I realized he had issues with ego and complex. An example I will cite is that, and all these things he said didn't make meaning to me until now that I started putting words together. And one of those things, I'll give two examples for this complex that I'm talking about. He's told me my father, his father, his father's classmate was my father's superior in the military. I just felt okay, it was just normal gist. Not until my sister-in-law came visiting me in Canada. And he said the same thing to him because my brother is in the military too. He spotted someone. He said his own classmate was my brother's superior. Then I knew there was a problem. He was always fond of like comparing his own family with my own family. And just to say a few things about the family stuff, you can't, there's no way you're going to compare. Our own family was more exposed. So that's another thing. If young people want to marry, please marry people that have the same prospects with you, the same orientation. That will help you. But I went through all that and I don't even know what to say at this point. But he was always fond of embarrassing me in public. So I always try to be at my best behavior anytime we went out for occasions because I don't want any of those embarrassments. I'll be good. I don't want him to shout at me. I don't want him to call me names in the public. So I will just be at my best position behavior. I wouldn't want to talk. I wouldn't want to trigger any anger. Fast forward to 15 months to in my marriage, I got my first physical abuse. My first child was not up to 40 days at that time that I got my first, gave me the beating of my life over a very trivial matter. I will explain one of those. What I'm actually trying to say is that there are too many stories, so I will just limit it to the ones I can remember. But for this particular one, it was on a phone. I was on mat leave, and my office had to give me a call. I was handling a matter before I had to go on mat leave. So they called me to want to see how far I've gone with the customer's issue. And the customer was there because I was the last that attended to the customer. So his call came in while I was speaking with my manager. I knew his call came in. So I wanted to round up finish with that discussion, then call him. And I called him immediately. Thankfully, his brother was with me. I called him. He said, didn't I see his call? I said, I saw your call. And I tried to be truthful, even if I didn't even see it as a problem anyways. And I went ahead to say, oh, sorry, I was on the phone with my manager. He was trying to follow up. And I explained that. He said, what? You didn't tell them is your husband called? And I was surprised really, but anyway, I didn't say anything. And he came back from work. And the first thing he did after I greeted him was to pull out his belt and started beating me. And his
Was
brother
this in
took the belt from
Nigeria?
him. This
This
was
was
sorry. This all these stories when we get to Canada, I will tell you when we get to Canada.
so this
So
was in Nigeria.
this was in
Mm.
Nigeria, yes.
He pulled out
So
his belt.
he pulled out his belt. Sorry, I need to turn off my phone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, just
Forgot
put it on
that.
silence. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. Wow. Belts.
Okay. So he now
That's a,
beats me like a child, the way your parents will want to discipline you when they come back from work for something you are done.
mhm.
So, anyways, I just took it that way. He pushed myself and his brother out of the house. So I called on my parents. My parents came. We happened to live in the same area, kind of that time. My parents came. My father actually came over because when he drove us away from the house, my son was still in with him. So the only thing my dad did was to ask for the baby. Can we have the baby? So he got the baby from him, and we went to his own house. And anyways, to cut the long story short, his parents had to come the following day. They had to travel down to beg, pleading that it won't happen again. Haven't they came begging and all that. So I just felt okay, it was going to stop. Having attempted to, and I thought he was going to stop. Then again, he had attempted to turn me to a full housewife, and that failed because I didn't accept for anyone to
You
tell
were
me
wo-
to.
you were working before you got married. You said
I
you
was
you
working,
you
yeah,
were going
and
to
that
work
was
together.
we're going to work together. We met in the bank, to the
So
same
did
bank.
did you have a
Yeah,
discussion about, whether you will carry on working or not after you got married? Was
no
that ever
discussion.
discussed? No.
No,
Okay.
no, no,
So that's a
no.
learning curve there. You know how we usually do, Betty?
Yeah,
We usually just break in to learn to pick out the lessons.
yeah,
If you are single and you're dating, please, before you get married, if you're a career-oriented woman, okay, have that conversation that, okay, oh, this is me, oh, I like to work. I don't want to be a full-time house. Some men don't want their wives to work, okay? Maybe because they are making enough money for the family or for whatever reason, religious reason, whatever. They always want their wife, even the ones that are not making enough money. Miss Ejike, please can you hold on? We'll bring you in when the time is right, please. Okay. Um, so have that conversation about what happens after the marriage, about work, along with all the other things that you're having conversations with about finances, how you manage your finances, who is paying what, you know, number of children that you are going to have, in-laws, how you're going to manage your in-laws relationship, who can come to the house for how long and all that. You must have those conversations. We know now that Betty just said it herself that this was then, but this is now. Okay, this is 2021. You must have those very, very important conversations about what happens after marriage, because if it's not discussed, then assumption is there that okay, because a man in most African homes is the head of the family, they assume that if they tell you to quit work, you are just going to leave. And if you don't quit, it means that you are not being submissive, means you are a stubborn woman, you are a stubborn wife. And this was never discussed. So that's a lesson there for us going forward. Carry on, my sister.
Oh, you're right, Auntie B. He made my life hell. I struggled so much with my job, being a banker. I know what it is being a banker in Nigeria. Keeping my home, doing the house chores all by myself, taking care of my kids, and then trying to progress in my career, doing ICANN exams. The struggle no be small. Going to work from Monday to Friday, Saturdays to Sunday, ICANN classes, cooking his meal each time I return from work. He was never supportive. I remember one time on a Saturday morning, he locked the door of the house and and he said I wasn't going to go out until I swept the whole house, which I did for peace to reign.
Can you guys hear her? I'm not hearing Betty again.
Even
Okay, she's back. Okay, go on, Betty. We're hearing you.
oh, you didn't hear me for I said a
You
lot.
paused. Yeah, yeah. There was something there that you cut off. Your sound cut off for about a minute or two. So if you can repeat that, where
Okay,
you
what was the
stopped.
last thing you heard?
The last thing we heard was when he said you must sweep the house before you go, and you did it
Okay,
for peace to reign.
okay. So I did it for peace to reign because I still was interested in going for that same class. So I I had to I went I did all the I after doing all that, I went to class, sleeping and extremely tired. Even go sometimes I go shopping between classes. All of this showed me sorry, all of this that I did I'm explaining slowed me down so much that it took me many years to complete ICANN. That I even completed is another story entirely. There were instances he would deliberately attempt to debar me from succeeding in anything. One of such was when he twisted my right wrist the day before I was to write an exam. He would have derailed me, but I was resilient. I was a determined person. I wanted to succeed in life. And my parents never taught us to, we're more girls than the guys. So they trained us alike. They never wanted us to depend on any man in life. So that wasn't my lifestyle. I, I stayed this long because I believed things was going to change, but I was only deceiving myself. All this struggle affected me so much that I couldn't think straight anymore. He wouldn't listen to me at all. There was no love. There was nothing I could hold on to than just to believe that something was going to change. You know, this saying that you should have faith, have faith in God that situations were going to change. So
Yeah,
time, every
yeah. If I
time
can
I
just cut
attempt,
in,
okay, go on,
if I can just
go
cut in
ahead.
there, yeah. So that's another learning there that we can take, that abusers don't change. I think we've overflogged that on this platform. If you are new here, then you may not have heard it, but for those of us who've been members of Obodo Farm, you guys know. But someone that abuses you, they never change. You can't change them. You can't pray them to change. You can't do anything. It is not your power. You don't have the power even. So they never change. Once an abuser always an abuser, especially if that person does not recognize that they are being abusive, that their behavior is abusive, and then, work on themselves, either by going through therapy, going through whatever they need to go through, mentoring or whatever. Abusers don't change. Don't always think that, okay, if I stay, or maybe if I have two children, or maybe it will change. No, they don't change. Please note that. If somebody starts abusing you now, in 10 years, that abuse will continue, except Jesus dies. So that's a learning for you out there, all of you that are suffering abuse, and you think they will change. Abusers, whether male or female, do not change. Run for your life because
Yes.
they can kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on, my sister.
Oh, absolutely, they don't change. So every attempt to talk about our issues proved abortive. Despite all of this, I continue to give 100% support emotionally and financially. I blame myself a lot because I invested everything that I knew to do, all my resources, all my being I put into that marriage. I believe so much in the scripture that says a woman builds her home. So I thought I was building my home. I was the cook, the laundry woman. I was the nanny, even to the extent of changing bulbs, pulling generators while he sat there and while he sat there just watching. He didn't have to say it. He didn't have to say it in so many words. I just knew that he didn't love me at all. There was no love, there was no feelings. What I thought was love was just a mirage. Till this day, I still ask myself, why did he marry me? There was no name he didn't call me. He was abusive verbally and physically. He didn't even care whether the children were present at those abuse or not. There was no self respect. It was very obvious he was neither interested in the marriage nor my success as a woman. One of the questions that bothered me over and over was, why did he do all the fencing, giving all the attention and the affection, proud to marriage, only to win me over for nothing? I thought we couldn't. I just thought we couldn't do without each other, but it turned out that the fencing was only a game plan. Guys, I noticed that it's guys that fence you, correct fencing, pick me up at 6 a.m., drop me afterwards, leave my house by my parents' house by 11 p.m. I mean, no guy will come to say hello, hi. Even during weekends, he will call me, where are you? I'm at the salon. And he will come. He always had time for me. I thought it was heaven on earth, but I was wrong. Going back to domestic abuse, there were different times I got hit by him. A lot of times in the presence of my kids. And that was why I said I was going to take them out. I didn't want to breed my kids in such environment. There was this one time I left my parents' home with my 2-year-old son. He didn't even bother going to my parents to plead. After the abuse, I just felt, oh, I couldn't take that anymore. So I had to go back to my parents. My father was furious and very protective of me, that he didn't send me back. There's this, I'm from the western part of Nigeria. There's this belief that, those days, it doesn't happen anymore. They expect that you should send, when there's any abuse, you go back to your parents, they send you back. But my father didn't do that. My father was willing to let me stay with him back home, but I felt like I was signing my own divorce papers. So I went to my husband to urge him to beg my parents. The shocking thing was that he went back to my parents a week later to brag to them that I practically begged him to see them. I felt betrayed and cheapened. My parents did not like it at all. When they are trying to fight a cause for you, and you go there not even letting the whole thing resolve. Maybe then it would have been resolved, I don't know. But they felt bad that that happened. Even with all this going on, I was still hopeful and positive, so much so that I processed our immigration to Canada. I assumed things were going to change, but not too long after arriving in Canada, the beating started again. But only this time I called the cops on him just to warn him. The family didn't didn't like that I called the cops on him. This was the same family that indulged him while the abuse lasted in Nigeria. I remember his mom asked me if it was the police that would resolve the issue. And I said yes. Because if not for the police, right? If it were India, if it were in my mother-in-law's power and all that, that would have stopped. Then I wouldn't need to come to the police. I know. So I found that very funny when she said that. His family tried to bully me, but I didn't budge. It felt as if the beating wasn't as important as my calling the police. They never for once asked me, I hope you're not badly injured. They never for once. They don't care. You know, there's nobody, he doesn't care for me. His family doesn't care for me. It's just always like that. It got so bad that he and his family stopped relating with my family. None of his family members called him out to his barbaric behavior. Rather, they fought my mom because she at some point at a point she decided to relay the matter to their dad's cousin living in the same area with my mom.
Betty, somebody is
Yeah,
asking in the comment section, were you the breadwinner in the family?
I wasn't.
Okay.
Even
So
up to this time, he still earns more than I do.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Carry on.
Okay. So they like to conceal, and you know, there are some families that like to conceal and sweep things under the carpet. My husband's family, they were very good at that. Even within the family, it is considered a taboo for the younger siblings to get involved in the older one's business. So no one could actually reprimand him. He wasn't accountable to anybody, not even his parents. His parents would rather turn a blind eye to his actions since he is more or less the breadwinner of the extended
Right.
family. His
Right.
father said some very nasty words to me after the police incident. He even implied me a liar by questioning why I remained in a place I claim to have been beaten many times. Let me try and remember the Yoruba words. He said, "Ìyàn lè ṣé èèyàn ṣe irú nǹkan tó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn fún ẹ, ó dẹ̀ sì jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀, ká ṣàsọ pé a ní ọkọ̀ ìṣá." I don't know who is going to interpret that, but those things
Can
are in my
somebody do
memory.
this? Can somebody do something so bad to you and you still remain in that relationship? That's what the
Well,
father-in-law was asking, which, to be honest, is right.
yeah,
It's kind of right because it's very for them because they are not there and they don't witness what you've been witnessing from Nigeria. You've told them, and they will be wondering, okay, you keep complaining, he's beating you, you run to your parents, you come back, you run to your parents, you come back. Why are you still there? To the extent that you even got to Canada and now you are calling the police. If I may ask Betty,
yeah.
what happened in Canada that made you call the police? What incident, if you can remember, that the first time that you called the police on him?
I can't really remember that particular one. I can't
So you
remember.
called the police several times.
I only called the police that one time.
Okay. All right.
So they came over.
Was he
Yeah.
aware that Nigeria is not the same thing as Canada, that you cannot just beat women or beat people up and get away with it, that there are consequences? Did he know that?
He knows that. You know, there are some people like him that don't want to accept things. People know the truth, but they don't want to accept it. He's
Mm,
one of those people.
yeah.
Usually when men of his kind meet, their own discussion is that, oh, women have come here to change in Canada. Women have come here to change in Canada. That's his own belief. And that is the belief. And one thing I want to say about his father and his family is that they don't have the opportunity. They have never lived in Western world, so they don't know how it is. So it depends on what he tells them. So he tells them what he wants to tell them, what they want to believe. So anything I tell them doesn't look real to them. It makes it feel like I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. So even his mother, every time I reported him to her, she would always compare him to my son. I wonder how she would compare my son, a full-blown grown man, to a 12-year-old boy.
Okay. So that's another learning for us here. The third one, I believe. Faith, you're taking notes, right? Okay. So when you have issues of domestic violence in your marriage, please do not expect that the person who is the perpetrator, that the family are going to be on your side. Okay? A lot of people make that mistake to say, oh, I told his father, I told his mother. As a matter of fact, Joy in Canada told us her story about how the mother was playing both sides, her ex-partner's mother. And she told us that the ex-husband's the parents married, the mother was the abuser, the father was the nice guy. And because the mother had abused the father so much, so he and his son, they are as close, thick as thieves. And she kept going back to him, thinking that she's on her side, not knowing that, you know, nobody can love you more than they love their own child. Forget it. If you think that your in-laws are going to support you, even if their child is behaving badly, it's very, very rare. Some in-laws will not see it that way, especially if one of the parents has been abusive towards the other one. And let me tell you something. Children are products of their environment and parenting, nurturing. And I'm sure in Betty's parents-in-law's marriage, one person has been abused in that marriage. And that's why the husband was like that. Okay? So please don't go to your parents-in-law for solution. They can't help you. They can say, yeah, oh, man farada, women endure. Just endure. We'll talk to him, we'll pray. They won't help you. Okay? Your
Yeah,
parents-in-law will never help you. Look for help where the help is available. It's not with your abuser's family.
yeah,
All right. How you
yeah.
doing?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm talking
okay.
to you. Yeah, you okay?
Oh, I'm doing. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm doing good.
All right. Yeah. Carry on.
Yes. Okay. So I didn't really. It's not like I was expecting anything from them. First of all, I thought they could correct their son, which I was wrong. Second was FYI for your information, because one of the things they used against me was that I wasn't. They didn't know. They were not aware. So it's just for your information. So things didn't get better. Rather, his dislike for me was on the increase. He promised to change but didn't. There was no breathing space, no form of communication between us. He would demand food like I was a maid. Even when I was sick, it made no difference to him. So the so anyway, I don't even want to remember all those times that sometimes I'll just be ill and I'll still have to fix the meal because I could ignore that, but I would want to eat and I want to prepare something for my kids. But in that process, of course, his food will be added. So that's just what I did and I battled with. So now, fast forward to the story in Canada. The last straw that broke the camel's back was when he did it again, and this time that was last year. In last year December, it happened again over this one I remember very clearly. And it's always trivial matter, things that could be discussed. He's fond of he because we don't have any form of communication. We don't talk. If I bring matters to him, he will just, wave it hand off with, put it away with a wave of hand. And like, oh, sometimes it's, oh, no, don't talk about that again. Don't. He never gave me that opportunity. So there were so many rooms for assumptions. He was fond of assuming things that is not happening. So this day, prior to this time, a week, like on a Friday, I was working from home. The before COVID, I used to work downtown. I walk downtown, go with my kids, drop them off in the day home. I was even the one footing all the bills for the day home. Just imagine, for two kids. So, but I didn't mind. I just thought I was doing everything with for my own children. So drop them off, coming back, pick them up, then go to the house. That I did. But when COVID situation came, when I had to start working from home, the table turned around. He was the one going out. His work required him to leave the house. So the kids he would take, of course, they were going to school that period. So he will have to drop them off at their bus stops. So this day, I don't know what happened. Anyway, my system packed up at 2 p.m. I'm an accountant, and that was month end. You know what that for those that are accountants in the house, my system packed up 2 p.m. on a Friday. And I called the IT, they tried to do it remotely, did it to no avail. And somehow At the time he came in after work, I was on phone with my supervisor and my manager were discussing. I wanted to brief him on how far I've gone with IT, how things have gone, those things I needed to report for that day. Because for month end, I had tasks to deliver that day. That's how far I'd gone with him. And he said he was going to help me and all that. So suddenly my husband came in, looked at me, and the phone was on speaker, so he could hear the conversation both ways. And he just, his countenance changed. My usual way, I've lived with that kind of thing. So I don't even let those things bother me. I didn't take it to heart. I just look at that one of those things that he does that is not, it's very common. So I've lived with it. So I just ignored. Then somehow IT told me that I had to come to the office on Monday. So he gave me attitude Friday to Monday. So Monday morning, first thing 6 a.m. that I woke up, he said, sure, you're the one taking the kids to their bus stops. I said, but I had to be in the office by 8:30. IT guys they work remotely too, but for my sake, they have to be in the office. He said, no, I don't give me excuses. Don't all those kind of. I said, okay, don't worry. I'll work around that. So what I did was that I have two kids, but now thank God they're in the same school now. They were in different schools, so they were running different times. So one, I had to drop him off at a school by 7 something. School was to start by 8. Then the other one was 8:30. So between that time, I dropped the first one off. Then I quickly went to my office downtown, dropped the laptop, put a sticky note on it, and left with my other kid to drop. That was how I was able to manage. And okay, that was done with, and I thought, there won't be any issues again. I got home. As soon as I came back from work, he still gave me attitude. I said, are you still angry with me? He said, yes. And he didn't even answer. I said, why? Why are you angry? You asked me to do something. I have done it. So what's this all about? I said that, but he didn't say anything. Still kept, moody, changed countenance and all that. I didn't care. I cared less. Only for that's the following weekend, the following Friday in the morning. I was trying to, working from home gives you the enough room to fix some things in the house. So I thought I was going to cook. Instead of cooking like the weekend cooking, I could start on Friday. So I was dicing onions, trying to put meat, beef together and everything. And he came and I was with a knife. Oh, okay. Before that, my kids came. He told my kids to go to the car and wait for him. I said, this is winter. It's cold. I told them it's cold. Why don't you wait for your dad? Because usually, if not for all these issues, I used to go warm the car for him. I know it's not even easy. You want to warm a car for him, I have to wear everything, be kitted like I was going to go out, which it wasn't even convenient. I was going out of my way. So I wasn't doing that anymore at some point. So
Why were
that
you
day,
warming the car? Why did you feel the need to warm the car for him?
to keep it warm it was just one of those selfless things I did. Something that's just to make things, easy for everyone. So
Mm.
that, because I wasn't doing, I've not been doing it. But that day he said they should go and wait in the car for him. I said, no. I said, it's so cold. You know how cold it can be, especially in Canada.
A man should be
So,
warming the car. A loving man should be warming the car for the wife.
no, it wasn't even me that was going out. It was the one to take the kids. So I was only
Yeah.
doing him a
He
favor.
said, that's what I'm saying. He should be the
Yeah.
one that is warming the car, your car
Yeah.
for you, not you doing the. So some women do too much. All
Yeah.
right. Some women do too much, and these are all things that women do to try to please. Yeah, you are thinking, okay, if I can just do a little bit more, maybe it will change. Maybe if I can just do a little more. But from everything you told us, it seems like he had a lot of anger in him.
Yeah.
Because remember, you said that in his house they don't talk. They are not good
Yeah.
at communicating. He doesn't communicate. And when someone does not communicate, they bottle up a lot of things. It seems like he had a lot of anger towards you for whatever
Yeah.
reason that you don't know. So
Yeah.
you are walking around in eggshells around him so that you don't provoke him, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So you are
Exactly.
trying to please. Please do what you can, ladies. I would advise strongly that do what you can, but If somebody has resentment towards you and they have hate in their heart towards you, there's nothing you will do that will please them. Warming a car in a place like Canada in winter, that car is dangerously, everything is cold. I've not experienced Canadian winter before, but I'm told that it is brutal. We're just having a discussion about Canada before we came online because I've got family there as well. It should be a man that is loving, kind towards his wife that would do it. Okay? So
Yeah,
do what you need to do, but please don't kill yourself trying to please because sometimes it never works. Whatever you do is not good enough.
yeah, that's true.
Okay. Carry on, sis.
So one of the reasons why I took that upon myself, it was never on time. So rather than delay further with that, so I just
Yeah.
felt that was my own contribution.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So
in a normal healthy relationship, there's nothing wrong, but
yeah,
there's nothing healthy about what you told us so far about this
yeah,
relationship. Yeah.
yeah. So I decided to warm. I didn't warm the car, so I told the kids they couldn't go wait in a cold car. It's just like entering a freezer. So I said no. Wait, why don't you wait for your dad? And they came back to meet me in the kitchen area. That oh, daddy said you are the one that will take me to school, take us to school. I said no, no worries. It's even Friday. I have a meeting I was preparing for on uh just in an hour's time, and I wasn't going to do that. Anyway, I could call the school that they were going to be in school. It wasn't something I prepared for. Next thing, he just marched to me and gave me a slap.
In the presence of the children.
In the every all the violence happened. Yeah, it was like
Hmm.
African magic to them. Like the way you watch all these Nigerian movies. So
Hmm.
they were there watching. So he gave me a slap, and I returned the slap. That was the shocking thing. He beat because I was so sometimes when you I didn't know why I did that, but I just thought, no, you can't do this to me. There were times they even spat on me, that I spat on him back. I'm not a piece of rubbish. You can't do that to me. So
Hmm.
he did that, and I had a knife in my hand. So I smartly dropped the knife behind the drawer, that's like the kitchen cabinet, because I didn't want to get so provoked to use the knife. Neither did I want him to get provoked to use the knife. So I put that away, and the struggle started. He beat me. I couldn't find my feet on the floor. He
Hmm.
held me up, and he kept, kicking me, sweeping me off the floor, punching me, holding on to my neck, pulling my hair. He ripped my hair off my scalp. And
My
thankfully,
goodness.
the hair that I had on that time was, oh my God, it was Ghana weaving. If it were braids, I can't imagine what would have happened.
My
So he
goodness.
did all that to me. He hit my office computer on the wall.
My
Got so
goodness.
good, it didn't break. Even if before I even continue with the story, I think one of those things was maybe because I was working, but I was contributing. Because one day I told him, I'm going to get back to my story, but I just need to say this. One thing I told him was that your family should be grateful to me. I'm contributing, I'm doing all I can. It's not like, okay, I'm doing all the chores in the house. I'm still contributing to the mortgage. I'm contributing to everything. And you are still feeling that, I don't know. I didn't know what to do. But there was this day to show you how inhuman he was. I don't know what kind of issues we had that he took, he removed the network cable and went away with it. But I didn't know because he left home before me. It was when I wanted to start my work. I saw that I
That's
couldn't find
that's the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Yeah. So I didn't find network on the, I didn't even find Wi-Fi on my system. I had to smartly call my office that I was dealing with that, so they shouldn't expect me so soon in the office. So I just said, maybe peradventure this cable was not even plugged properly. Let me go check. I checked, and lo and behold, I didn't see any cable there. Obviously removed. So I began to think, what this man doesn't want me to get my work done, or he wants me fired, or he wants me. I just didn't know because me, I was being supportive. I was doing everything with utmost good faith, everything with the belief. I have no iota of any kind of. I didn't have any To me, I felt I didn't have any issues with him. So when he did that, I even that day, the beating I got, I weed on my body. And
Wow.
I even went to the door because I couldn't take it anymore. I went to the door. I said, please help me. Somebody help me. I need help. As soon as he saw I was shouting at the cops, somebody might call the cops. He ran into the car with the kids and drove off.
What about the
But no,
children? How do they
he drove
feel with
us.
all
We
this
went with the
going on?
they always is normal to them and they see it. But this one was so bad because even when my son came back and said, Mommy, you've never been so beaten in your life. I've never seen you
Mm.
so beaten because he said, I didn't even know I would find you in the house. So I sat down, I was thinking of my life. That happened on a Friday. When he returned from work, he did like nothing happened.
You didn't
No,
call the cops.
no cops. My area is
You
I
didn't call
got
them.
nobody call. I didn't call the cops. No, I didn't call the cops. I just was thinking, what else will I do? I don't know why I didn't even call the cops. So I now said, okay, it's time. I've gotten it up to my neck. It's time for me to move on. So
Hmm.
the whole weekend, nothing happened. So on Monday, I don't know what even gave me that push. I just looked, checked rent faster, and all that on the, and I looked for a place to a place of accommodation, and I got one. Just got an apartment. I
Okay,
moved.
so
Yeah,
before you carry on, Betty, well done.
thank
I
you.
mean, we can literally feel your emotions. I know this is not an easy thing for you because this is your story, and I know you wrote it down because I'm looking at you.
I didn't want to leave out anything. I'm not a good
Yeah,
storyteller.
I can see you, and I know you wrote it down, and still the emotions are there. We can feel it. I don't know about you guys in the comment section. I can feel the emotions. Oh my God, I am really, really sorry that, we come from a culture that encourages this sort of behavior and, encourages women to tolerate it. It is not allowed. It is not acceptable. And the learning we can take away from this point is that please, if somebody puts their hands on you, yesterday, men, our fellow brothers came here and said it. When somebody raises their hand on you, call the cops. You live in the diaspora. This is not Nigeria. This is not Africa. Please call the cops. Do you know why? God forbid it could have gone anyway. Something fatal could have happened, and it's always the woman that will suffer that fatality. So the lesson from that, is that he's a very angry and violent person. And if you live with someone that constantly puts their hand on you, please, if your neighbors are not calling the police, you take the phone and dial 999 or 911 or
Yeah,
whatever the
no.
emergency number is. Call them. Don't wait. Your life is at stake. Please don't. Let's not make it something that is normal for children to be witnessing their dad beating their mom every day. You see the way that Betty said that the children are used to it, it broke my heart. It shouldn't be normal. Children shouldn't grow up seeing this. Do you know what it does to them? Oh my God. I am really, really sorry, my sister. So you left.
So I left. That was in December. I left. I just needed this time. The first time I went away, just me. I needed time to heal up, and I didn't know what was happening to me, and it looked like help wasn't coming from anywhere. Though my own family was so supportive, they were talking to me, and okay. Anyway, for the 3 weeks I was away, the first time because I left. This is my second time now. So the first time I went away, that was in December. Sorry, I know I left in Nigeria. So the first time in Canada was in December. And that time, I just felt I just needed to, time for myself, space to think, to breathe fresh air and all that. So anyway, he looked for me. I didn't tell him I was going to go. So he looked for me on that first day. The way a roommate would look for his partner. That's the way he looked for me. After that first day, he didn't give me any call, nothing to even say. I know that some people, some Um, hello, hello, hello.
We are hearing you.
Okay,
Carry on.
sorry,
Yeah,
I just thought it
yeah.
was off.
I
So
just
you
mute
know,
myself so that you can talk.
okay. So I just felt there's no love, obviously no love, because some people will even be they will feel sorry for what they had done. He didn't give me any call for these 3 weeks, and I was, communicating with my kids because of COVID. They all have a Google account, Gmail account rather. So I was communicating with them, and they kept begging me to come back before Christmas. So I got back before Christmas, and I told them that I got back home because I wanted to take care of my daughter. I needed to do her hair and get just preparations for Christmas, just for them. And after that, when I got back, I stayed in a separate room. I had a lawyer. The lawyer told me we could still stay separated in the same house. I stayed in a separate room. I was there and still thinking. I was there for 3 months. I moved finally March when my brother was going to come. Well, everything, came, everything worked together. So that fast tracked my moving out of the house because my brother and my family member said it's not healthy for you to be there. Anything could have happened. So this time I moved with my kids. I moved and I'm in a place that is safe, a place that no one will remove my Wi-Fi cable. At least
Hmm,
for the service provider to remove my cable, that means I have defaulted. Even if I have defaulted, there will be several notices sent to me
hmm.
before that is done. That impacted
Forget
my
about
job
Wi-Fi
so,
cable.
yeah,
Forget about Wi-Fi cable. What if you removed your
my
eye
life.
or your
Yeah, that's
teeth
it.
or your life? That one is nothing compared to your safety. Personal safety is the best. And I like one thing that you did there. You are a very smart woman. Obviously, you are very educated, and you are, even though you find
Thank
yourself
you.
in this very diabolical situation, you were still thinking. And this is why I always say to women on this platform, save yourself first. Okay? If you are drowning, you cannot save someone else. You need to save yourself. So I actually like what you said about removing yourself to go and get some, to breed. So you left him to go and breed, left the children there with him. Then when you felt ready, then you came back. So that's very, very important. Some women will say, no, I can't leave, I can't leave. You need to leave when it becomes so dangerous. And I'm curious to know how that, reunion was when you came back. Did he say anything to you? Were you still cooking for him? You're living in another room now. So how was the relationship? Did he say anything? Did you have a conversation when you came back?
We didn't have that conversation. Thank God we didn't have the conversation. I may have changed my mind because I'm a very soft person at heart. So I know that day when I moved back, he saw I parked the car. He came, I came to the door and he wanted to receive me with open arms. I just dodged and moved in because he didn't look for me. I moved in, moved all my things to my room. I have a spare room. So I was there and I was always locking the door. Going, if you need to talk to me, you knock on my door. Then I talk to you from the door. I didn't allow him in. I wasn't cooking any meals for anybody. Because if I cooked for my kids, he will get to eat. Oh, yeah, I cooked meals, but served my kids only. The way we were, most especially here in Canada, because we're always, the time is never on our side. So I cook in bulk, put in the fridge, get to warm. Sometimes the kids will warm on their own when I don't have the time. So I wasn't even bothered with anything happening in the house. I was just staying in my room and coming downstairs when I needed to come to eat. And my work, I moved my system, everything upstairs. And I had called the cops before. So this second time, I invited them over. And I thought I was going to get EPO, the restraining something other. I've forgotten what it is. I can't remember what it is from the judge, but the judge said since I was in a safe place, he won't bother with that. So I just felt I was on my own. Why didn't I, all those questions, why didn't I act fast? Why didn't I tell them to move him away? But, anyways, where I am right now, At least there's life. I'm happy. Though it's not like something, a journey of how many years, the pain is still there. I try to take it off. Sometimes I will be so weak, I will just be lying down on the bed. The only thing that gives me strength was the fact that I was going to work to get paid. If I don't work, no pay. So I stayed and I was doing all I could. My sister in law at some point was with me, which, I had people around me then. She was there up till June. But somehow, even when I somehow lost my job, I felt bad. Should I go back? This thing in my mind, should I go back? So later, something just, stirred up in my heart. Why would you go back? God took the children of Israelites through the wilderness. This is your wilderness. God will take you through.
Mm.
So
Amen.
I just started, holding on to God, telling him that he fits the birds of the sky. I'm his child. He would take me, he was going to pull me through. I'm so sorry, I'm so
It's
emotional. I
okay.
didn't know this was going to come.
It's okay.
So I held
It's
on to
okay.
the words of God because this, without any job, though the EI was there, I applied for EI and I got it. But I didn't know where the next job was coming. But somehow, in August, God had done this is the second time God will do the same thing to me. I said, God, this is August. It's going to be my birthday. Please give me a birthday gift. And lo and behold, on the 1st of August, I was in church. I was called for a job. I thank God that that
Mm.
job came, even when I said I gave so many excuses, but they kept coming back to me. Are you ready now? And I'm still there right now. It's just how wonderful God can be. My life, I don't need any man to validate any success in my life. I don't need any man to pull me through. I've sacrificed all I had, everything I knew. It wasn't working. So it's just me and God because it's only God that will never forsake us. It's only God I hold on to. That's where I
It's
am today.
okay.
That's just the story.
It's okay. Congratulations, my darling sister. Congratulations. You're moving me to tears now. Wow. I just cannot imagine what this was for you, all the way from Nigeria. Wow. All I can say is congratulations. God does not forsake his own. See, the lessons that you can learn from there again, there are so many lessons in her story. But I see what she was doing because don't forget that this is a Nigerian woman raised in a different culture. She's not used to obodooyibo life. Okay? She said that she and her husband immigrated together from Nigeria to Canada. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah. Yeah, she got really, really teary there. And yeah, she's not used to, she's used to a culture where abuse is tolerated. We come from a culture where it's a hush hush culture where they tell you, shut up, endure, don't speak up, don't say your dirty linen in public. Everybody covers their own. We come from a culture that, hides abusers and shames victims or survivors of abuse. That's the culture that we come from. So you can imagine why it was difficult for her to even call the cops again. Because if she had called the cops, that man will have a criminal record. That final beating that he gave her, that he almost killed her, in the presence of the children, that's two different offense. The fact that he was putting his hands on his wife in the presence of their children witnessing, domestic abuse is abuse on its own against the children. So he would have definitely had a criminal record in Canada. And those are the kind of men now that will come and sit down and tell you, once you bring women to the diaspora, they will change. They change, they turn to something else. And I'm not saying that some women don't, but you guys hear it for yourself when these women come, the ones that come here, what they've been through. Every woman or most women that I know from Nigeria, from our culture, they always try to make the marriage work. The marriage, have your children in one place, do this, do that. But if it borders on something that will take your life, then you have to go. So I just want to congratulate you and thank God for your life. Do you know what? Even if you didn't get a job, God has a way of, He's a rewarder. He will compensate you in other ways. Okay? He will. He would have made a way. He will make a way one way or the other.
Yeah.
So, for you being here today, being able to share this testimony about how God delivered you and saved you from a very angry and abusive man. And I thank God that you actually recognized this from the beginning, that this man never loved you. He never loved you. Maybe because, I don't know, from everything you've told us, all I can say is that because he told you not to walk and you were walking, maybe that's what made him so angry. Because I can't really pinpoint what else will make him so angry for him to hate you so much. But you will heal by the grace of God. You will.
Amen.
He does not forsake his own. Thank you, Gigi. Gigi is saying to you that, Sis Betty, no woman forsaken ever live in lack. God makes himself a husband and jealously protects. You will never lack. That's the truth. So
Thank you,
finally,
Gigi.
before I'm sharing my link now in the comment section, you wanted to share this story for a reason,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I wanted to.
Yeah.
You want me to go
What do you
ahead? I
have to
thought you were still
say to
talking.
other women?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to share the story because I wanted people to learn. Those not married and those about to remarry. It's a good learning point. The fact that somebody comes to you professing love does not mean he loves you. We never, I remember there were no
Hmm.
communication, like Auntie B had said earlier, that you should talk about what you expect in a marriage. That didn't come. We didn't talk about what we expected. And again, marry your own kind, people of the same vision, people of the same orientation. And then I'm open to advice. I'm open to way forward because I'm still struggling with my emotions.
Yeah, definitely. It's not an easy thing. You see, when you said that you were thinking about going back, that's actually not, I'm not surprised by that. A lot of people do go back. They do go back. But God will give you the strength to be able to sustain that decision, because this is the best decision you've taken for not only yourself, but your children. So, my guys, I'm sharing my link now in the comment section. You've heard Betty's story. This is a woman that been through the fire. But thank God she's standing to tell the story. She's not like that woman from yesterday or from last week that were deleted. Thank God she's here today to share her testimony. So please come into the studio. AJ, I've got you. You're my first caller. Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, Sister V. I don't know why I'm. Hello, um,
Hi, good evening. I can hear you.
Sister Bree. How are you
Yeah,
doing? Yeah,
I'm all
yeah,
right, sweetheart. How are you?
okay.
Long time.
Well,
This one got to you today.
I don't know what is happening to me here. Hello. Yeah, yeah. You can
Yes,
hear
I'm
me
hearing
now.
you.
Okay.
Yes.
Ishad, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I know I'm so tired. Oh, what is
Hello,
happening
AJ, we're hearing you. You're live.
now?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
live. Mm-hmm. AJ,
Yeah,
are you
Sister
okay?
Betty. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking for Sister Betty.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah, what do you have to say?
I'm just thinking for Sister Betty, and I just want to I want to speak directly to her. Sister Betty,
Yeah, I'm listening.
I want to give you an assurance of something I know. I said I'm speaking to Sister Betty. Yeah. Okay, so where is Sister?
Yeah, go on, AJ. She's hearing
Go
you.
on, I'm listening. Yeah.
Oh, she's gone off now. Oh my God. I think AJ's network was not very steady. Okay. Osas, you're here. Good evening, my brother. Hello, Osas. Unmute yourself, please. Okay. Good evening, my brother. Um, hello, sir. Lola. Please.
Uh,
Hi, Lola.
Hi.
Yeah. Unmute yourself. Go ahead. What's going on with all the callers today? You muted yourself again. Okay, let's move on. Tabe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
you are on. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, dear.
Um, I just wanna encourage our sister and congratulate her. She's a brave woman, and I know the God that did it for her to leave that toxic relationship, that very God will continue to strengthen her. I know it's difficult, but let us just hold on to God, just as she has said that when she was in that particular situation, she remembered what God did to the children of Israel. And as she was asking God for a birthday gift, God came to her. I just pray that she will stand and just pray to God. She shouldn't even think of entering into any relationship anyhow, thinking that, okay, maybe this one gonna be better than the other one, this one gonna give me comfort. Let her just look unto God. If it is God's will for her to get married again, let her pray to God so that God will reveal it to him. Let her not be moved by physical emotion because of what she has been through. So that is just what I can tell my sister. Thank you, Auntie Beam. I really thank you that I'm able to speak with you today. Your show has been encouraging so many people. I don't know how many times I have shared your video to all my little ones, and I'm always begging them to watch all your videos. Thank you very much for the good job. Bye.
Thank you so much, Toby. I appreciate your contribution. Thank you for sharing our videos. God bless you. Thank you very much. Okay, AJ, you are back again. I hope your connection is good now. Oh, it's gone off again. Oh dear. Bookie, you are next. Hello, Bookie.
Hello, Sister B
You're welcome. Where are
from
you joining us from?
US.
Okay, what do you have to say?
Sister Betty, you're doing okay. I know it's always very difficult to leave a very toxic relationship. But the one thing you said that made me really happy is that you got a birthday gift and you have your job. I think that women, we need to understand that we need three things to survive in this life: your health, peace of mind, and your money. Nowhere in these three does a man come into play. Anybody that comes into your life literally is a blessing and a bonus. And if they are not exactly that, if they are not a bonus, if they're not a blessing, if they're not a plus, we need to eliminate them. Right now, focus on your children, focus on your work. Things will get hard. Nobody's going to say it's not going to get hard. I've been through this before. There are going to be times where you're going to think, should I go back? Am I doing the right thing? You are doing the right thing. If anything happens to you and this man turns you to the woman that we were watching yesterday, God forbid,
Mm-hmm.
he is not mentally capable of taking care of your children.
Yeah,
This one that doesn't even know what he's mad about. We don't know if he's mad about job. We don't know if he's jealous. We don't. He himself does not know what's going on in his brain.
yeah,
So there is no way that person is capable of taking care of your kids. He will just take the cowardly way of bringing another woman to their lives, doing the same crap to your kids, letting them watch this trauma so that the kids can think it's okay to
yeah,
replicate this stupid behavior. You're doing great. Focus on your kids, focus on your money. You know, if a relationship comes, fine. If it doesn't come, it's not by force. And I hate to say this, I think women, we need to understand that we don't really, really need this man like that. We don't need them like that, for real. They need us. We don't need them. If somebody is gonna come, it should be a blessing. You are the gift. I'm
Hmm.
a gift to you. If you're gonna come into my life, you have one job. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Not that you come and start stressing me out. Somebody is giving you a gift, you are stressing them out. Oh yeah, with any. Anyway, you're doing good, Sister Betty. Do not go back. No matter how hard it is, you have a great job and you have your kids. That's all you
Yeah,
need.
yeah, you're right. Thank you so much, Buki. Well spoken. I think Betsy is going to need a lot of emotional support. She's going to need counseling as well. She needs it because it's very new and the emotions are still very, very raw. She has not dealt with it. Some of them, she's just tucked them away, which is, is a self preservation thing that people do. When events are very traumatic, what people do is that they chuck them in a part of their brain where they cannot remember them. They try to forget them because they are just too hard to remember. So, uh, thank God we have a very vibrant Canadian WhatsApp group. I'm sure I'll add you to the group after the show and then start working towards building that emotional support around you. You're going to be okay by the grace of God. You will be okay. Osaz, I've got you.
Hey, hello.
Hi. Good
Okay, good
evening.
afternoon. Yeah,
Yeah.
good afternoon, everyone. It's such an emotional story. Yeah, I can feel from her voice and also for that. But one thing I just want to kind of appreciate her for as a woman, despite all the abuse she went through from the guy or from the man, is that she never contributed to the downfall of that man. What do I mean by that? If she had called the cops the second time, just like you said, the man record would have been gone in Canada, and that would take 10 years to be wiped out. Within that 10
And
years,
that's his fault.
yeah, within that 10
Mm.
years, the man can get a new job. So she never contributed to that. That
Yeah.
is
And
to that is to let you know that she wasn't being stupid, but she was made for the man. But unfortunately, the man don't realize that. And secondly, all those periods she went through, those abuse or whatsoever, she wasn't stupid, right? But because she loved, and that is what she was doing. I'm not an advocate of people saying that you don't need men or men don't need women. No. God who created that know the reason he did that. We all need each other to survive. Unfortunately, some people are being stupid and I don't know how to put it. Sorry, I don't have to use some abusive words on international platform like this, okay? I would just
mm,
encourage her, let her move on with life,
mm,
right? Life is always full of negative and positive. Positive at times make you to get to the next stage. Negative will make you to learn more to get to the next higher stage. Probably that's what she has just gone through, especially working from home.
Hello?
yeah. Osaz, we can't hear you anymore. Okay, thank you very much. I think we got your point. But there's something I need to correct very quickly there because you said something about how Betty never called the cops, and if she did, he would have spoiled his record for 10 years. Okay, that is a big mistake there. Okay, see, if you don't want your record to be spoiled, don't put your hands on another person. If somebody calls the police because you are being abusive and your record is destroyed, it is on you, the abuser. So survivors of victims of domestic violence are not the one that will be bearing the brunt of that emotional blackmail of saying, "Oh, you call the cops, his record is spoiled." You knew your record was going to be spoiled when you were beating her. So please, the onions is on you. One man came here yesterday, King Blaze. I will never forget him. He said he was in an abusive relationship. He said he refused to, even if the woman slapped him, he will not slap her back because he doesn't want to destroy his future. He doesn't want to destroy his career. So please, the onions is not on the abuser to protect the record of the onions is not on the abuse to protect the record of the abuser. If you don't want your record to be destroyed, please don't abuse anybody. Okay? It is a choice. And if you decide to put your hand on somebody else and your record is destroyed forever, that is your business. Don't do it in the first place. I'm even angry that you didn't destroy his record, to be honest. I am. Because now you are left with the option, you've left the house for him, okay, and I'm sure you contributed to that house. I always advise women not to fight for property anyway, so that one I have no problem with it. And for him to contribute now is going to be a tug of war to contribute to the children that you both brought to this world. So you are left with two children to care for, no source of income. You have a source of income, but you are doing it single-handedly, and that man got away scot-free. It is not fair.
Auntie B, can I say something about this?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I actually thought, really, in my own kind nature, it's not like I didn't know that when it happened that day, I don't know why I did it, but it's still on. They say had to take the record. It's there on record that he did that, and they asked, you know, if to press charges. But I thought of it that just like that last caller said, and I said that well, he's still the father of my children. And again, the only thing that I've not done right now is to pursue. I've already gotten a lawyer, but because I'm not financially stable now to say I want to pursue that right now, for
What do you
him
need
to,
lawyer for?
for, of course, there will be a divorce. I can't just go like that. I want, there will be
I
a
will
divorce, and
advise,
yeah,
yeah, I will advise you not to even bother about that now.
okay, yeah,
Personally, I
that's,
will tell you to leave that for now because you just left him.
yeah, I just
You
left
just
him,
left
and
him. You're trying to get yourself together. You're trying to get your children. You,
yeah,
healing is the first thing. Forget about divorce. Okay?
okay,
Down the road, you can process that. Because what happens is that when you leave a relationship that was so traumatic and abusive and you're trying to do too many things, it can even weigh you
yeah,
down more.
yeah,
Okay? So
yeah,
try not to do too much. One
yeah,
day at a time.
yeah,
Your mental health, your emotional well-being, your children's mental health, very
yeah,
important.
yeah,
Thank God you are working, you got a place of you got a roof over your head. That's the important thing. Divorce will come along the line. He can even go for the divorce if he wants to. Let him go. But
yeah,
I wanted to make that point very strongly because Osas was kind of celebrating the fact that you didn't spoil his record. It is not your business whether his record is spoiled or not. If you don't want your record to be if you want your record to be clean, don't put your hand on the other person.
yeah. That's
It's
true.
simple as
True.
that.
True.
Tantalizers, you're next. What do you have to say? Good evening. Where are you joining us from?
Hello.
Hi, Tantalizers. You're next in line.
Hey, Sister B, I'm so happy to, to be on this show
Ah,
today. Please, first of all, I want to ask Sister Betty where she is in Canada, what city?
CA.
No, I
CA.
mean, no, what, see, like
CA.
Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're
Yeah.
close to me. I'm in Edmonton.
Okay. Is
Si-
that
Sister
close?
Betty, yes, it's
Yeah, it's
very
close.
close. Sister Betty, I'll tell you something. I see me and you in the same situation, right?
Yeah.
But I will tell you something. When things like this happen, yours is very fresh. Mine is about 2 years ago, but I still feel pain. But I'll tell you, when they happen, you feel like there's nowhere to go. You feel like the world is crumbling. You feel like all my dreams, everything that I had with this guy, it's it's crumbling, it's done, it's gone. But truth be told, if you hold on, don't go back. If you're able to hold on, the achievement you're going to get at your latter days, believe me, you would be overwhelmed with it.
Amen.
I wasn't abused physically, but I was deeply abused emotionally, including my two kids I had before in my previous relationship. But when I didn't leave actually, he left and I was running still behind him, right? My mom was like, make it work, it's going to work, every relationship has its up and downs. I was still running behind him, even though I know he had somebody else. I was still like, it's my marriage. I'm still not divorced, he still doesn't want to sign the divorce. But then I saw this change. The day my mom told me forget it, she gave me an example of a calabash. She
Hmm.
said, when things are difficult for you, She said, think about the calabash. You never know what's in the calabash until you break the calabash. You understand? Sister Betty, you don't know what's in front until you make that move. So when I thought about it, when my mom said, break the calabash and see what's in that calabash, I was thinking she was like, take a step into the future. That's all I'm telling you. I moved, maybe you'll be hearing of me, Tantalizers. You saw the name I put there. I took this move, and truth be told, since that time, I was not able. I lost my job. I lost everything. The house, you stopped paying the mortgage. They kicked us out. My mom said, "Okay, you get this restaurant." I got a restaurant. I started thinking, let me start up something. While she went home to Nigeria to get product for us to use at the restaurant, she collapsed and died.
Oh my God.
Your mother.
So my mom, the same my mom that was backing, that was like, my mom collapsed. And then my husband is jubilating that my mom was the reason his marriage broke. And this is a man that choked me in my sleep without quarrel. We weren't quarreling. In my sleep, he choked me. He thought I was dead. Thank God for mental health programs. Thank God I worked as a nurse, right? Thank God I knew that when you're being attacked, pretend to be unconscious. Your attacker will let go. If I didn't pretend to be dead, he didn't know how to check my pulse. He didn't know, how to check my heartbeat. So I pretended like I was dead. Sister B, I'll bring my story. I want to share my story.
Okay.
If I didn't do that, this guy was sitting on my stomach watching me if I was dead.
Oh
Hey.
my God.
Then
See
I screamed. I
wahala.
knew I
See
couldn't.
wahala.
I
What kind
knew
of
I
wahala
couldn't
is
hold
this?
my breath for too long. So I screamed for my older son around 1 a.m. Nelson, help! I didn't even know how my voice, because if those boys were sleeping, I would be dead.
My goodness.
The boys ran. Nelson tried to open the door. This man locked it. You are in Canada. We don't have keys. We only have that little pin that they put
Everywhere
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
in the
understand?
abroad,
So,
there's no
yes.
Yeah.
key.
The next thing this guy did 2 weeks prior to that time, he changed the lock and put a real key. So when the children tried to open it, they couldn't open it. And then your children, you must have one Ninja boy, one Ninja stubborn one. My second boy ran back and broke the door down.
Hey,
So imagine if I didn't have grown-up children. Imagine if they were small. When they came
this is
in,
physical
get off of
abuse.
her
You say
now,
you
get
didn't
off.
tantalizers.
This
This is physical
ma,
abuse. You say you didn't experience. What do you think this is? This one you're
no,
narrating now.
this was the first time. That's what I mean. Like all the while it was emotional, right? But this for my boys, my two older boys, it was physical with them. But with me, the first time he tried it, the first time, I'm an adult woman, by the way. The first time he tried it, I displayed the Benin thing in my head. So he became afraid because he slapped me so hard, and I dived to my belt close to me. I used the metal part of the belt to finish his face.
My
So
goodness.
the guy was now afraid to be physical with me. He didn't expect that. So from then, this was the one that we didn't argue, we didn't quarrel, right? When the boys broke the door in, he said, "Get off my room." And my second boy was like, "You motherfucker, get off of her." And because they are 6'6" and 6'7", they are really, really tall, they picked him with one hand and threw him. So
My
now, Sister
goodness.
Betty, I was shaking. Ambulance came, forensics came, everything. I was shaking. I was thinking, what am I going to do? And my mom was coming the next week. She was actually here before, right? She went home. She was coming the next week. The only thing my mom was not hearing is that her daughter is in the hospital. So imagine all these years. This for your information. I came to meet him in Canada. I was actually in Germany, right? So I came to meet him in Canada, and I already had 2 kids for a man that I didn't know, because I had a broken relationship before. So I thought, I have known this guy before, so it's okay. You understand? Let me just go into a relationship with him since he wants to marry me. I wanted to belong to the married category.
So
I really
tantalizers, your
didn't need it.
story. Yeah, your
My story is a
story
different story,
is long.
Auntie
Yeah.
B, sorry.
My
But the
number is
truth
on the
is this,
screen. You
Sister
have to
Betsy.
come. Yeah, you
I
have to
want,
come and
I
share
want
your story.
you, and maybe if I can visit you in Calgary, Mondays are my day off. Calgary isn't far from here. I would give you things you can do. When I opened this restaurant, he laughed. He said I would not succeed. And I lost my job at the hospital because I was under depression. right? I was sick. I didn't know what to do. So I lost my job at the hospital. But then my mom said, it's okay, move on. I will be with you. Then now my mom that was saying she was my backbone died. So my darling sister, the progress you are going to see, if you are able to hold yourself, don't cry. Because what he wants to see is you cry.
No, she can cry in private. It's okay to
You know,
cry,
in
but
private,
not in
yes.
front of him.
Don't let anybody see your pain. Don't let anybody, this restaurant thing that I'm doing right now, I actually started it from my basement. And the guy said he was leaving the house. He will not pay the mortgage because my name is not on the mortgage. He really left the house and told my younger sister they will kick them out in minus 35 degrees. And guess what? That happened.
How's the restaurant?
That
Is it doing well?
Oh, great. You see me now, they tantalize any corner. I did tantalize, I did tantalize like crazy. You
Tantalizers?
understand?
You should
So
have
my
named the
sister beg,
restaurant
if you can come,
Tantalizers.
once you go on Google, find me. I dare here can't pay. If you need the
No,
backup,
no.
I
This
beg.
is how it
I
works.
dare.
This is how it works. Tantalizers. Look at the screen. You will see my number. Okay. She doesn't need to go on Google. Tantalizers and her boys. The number is on the screen. So you send me a WhatsApp message and I will link you.
I will.
Okay.
I will. So, Sister Betty,
All right.
please,
Thank you so
I
much.
am telling you from glory to glory, you will succeed. Thank you so much, Sister B,
Amen.
for your work, for all you are doing. I
Thank
love you very
you.
much. I've shared you
I love
everywhere.
you
I'm
too.
sharing. I'm sharing. I'm
Thank
sharing
you.
everywhere. So
Thank
thank you.
you.
Sister Betty, the Lord is your strength. You will win.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
All
Amen.
right,
Thank you
Sister
so
Betty. I
much.
Amen.
love you.
I love you
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye.
Thank you. Love you too. This is fire. Edo woman fire. She said, he said, it's a boys. My goodness. It sounds funny. Unstoppable. I can see you. I'll be with you in a minute, please, sir. It
Okay.
sounds funny, but it's not. Okay? We laugh because we don't want to cry. When these things are happening, when children are being exposed to this behavior, it is not funny at all. There's nothing funny about sons having to drag their fathers off their mothers because they are sitting on their belly, choking them and holding their throat and all that. It's not funny, oh, my people. It is not. Please, let us stop protecting abusers. This is what our culture has taught us. It is time for us to change the narrative. There is no room for protection for abusers. It's the victims that we need to protect. Abusers needs to be called out. Whatever consequences that come their way, let them face it. If you don't want, like I saw Solution Focus said, if you don't want to do the time, please don't do the crime. Don't do the crime because it is a crime to put your hands on somebody else. Thank you so much, Tantalizers. Unstoppable, good evening. You're welcome, sir. Where are you joining us from?
Good evening. It's a woman. It's a
You're a
lady
woman,
actually. So,
Chineke.
yeah, I just shaved my
Oh,
head. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. You're not
It's
wearing
okay.
earring and your hair, everything.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
I'm
wearing
sorry.
earrings. Yeah, I'm
You're
at home.
wearing
It's
earring.
nighttime and yeah, it's
Ah,
nighttime. I just
I'm
thought let me
sorry.
pop in and it's okay.
Okay. I'm
Yes.
sorry for
So
calling you sir.
yeah,
Ma,
no
welcome.
problem at all. No problem. Thank you so much. Good evening to everybody. And Auntie Betty, Auntie Brie, good evening. I would
You're
just like to
welcome, sis.
quickly say how I came across your channel. It's not
Okay.
been up to a month since I came across your channel. I actually have a YouTube channel myself where I decided to just start talking about abuse and depression because we have a lot of people out here in the diaspora who go through a lot of things and they don't talk to anybody, they don't have any information. So I thought, you know what, let me start a channel where I can share information. And I have my brother who is like a son to me here. I'm calling from the Netherlands, by the way.
Okay.
He always listened to my videos and he told me about the channel because I was in the process of a career switch to do something that can actually give me those skills that I need to help people, like to go into social work or to therapy or psychology. And that's when he told me about your channel. He told me that there's a lady out here who has done social work, who is doing an amazing job for women out here, women who go through abuse. And he linked me to your channel. And I listened to one or two videos. And the last video that I listened to was that of Bliss, who called from Australia. That's the very first stream that I watched. I listened to
Okay.
the whole thing, and I was really moved and touched, and I said, wow, if something like this is existing, then more people need to know about it. And one thing that this lady said was about her abusive relationship was that the one vow that she made to herself was that any man who touches her, that would be the end of
Yes.
her and the relationship.
Yes. That's bliss. That's
And
our bliss for you. Hmm.
yes, and I remember saying to myself that, wow, this lady is just like me. First of all, disclaimer: I'm not in any sort of um strong abusive relationship, but I've gone through depression because of being in the diaspora. Just a minute, my mic is off. Sorry.
Okay. So you've
Being in
got
the
like
diaspora.
2 minutes. If you can summarize,
Yes.
please. Yeah, because I'm
Okay.
trying to move on very quickly.
All right, sorry. So I just wanted to say this is a good channel, and for our sister Betty, thank you so much for sharing your story. A lot of people are learning from you. But what I just want to say is that we women go through a lot of abuse, especially us from Africa, because we are being brought up in a certain way to be loyal, to be respectful, to be obedient, and we are not told how to work on our confidence, how to love ourselves more. And when we come out here, especially, and we know that we are being brought out here, especially by men, we feel that we have to be loyal to them, exaggeratedly, to the extent that we forget ourselves. But we need to
Mm-hmm.
start working on our confidence. We need to start working on knowing when to say no, when to put boundaries, when to say enough is enough, and to really stand up to it. And secondly, we are in the diaspora, and there are a lot of free services, there are free lines, helplines, therapies, and there's the police who are there for us, to help us when there's a problem. We need to reach out to these people. We need to stop protecting these abusers. We need to talk to people with trust and professionals and to really open up our hearts and say exactly what we are going through, because until you accept that you have a problem, nobody will be there to help you. And until you say your
Absolutely.
story the way it is, nobody will be there to give you the right tools to move on in life.
Thank
And
you.
in most cases, actually, these manipulative men and women, you know, they will look for you. They will want to pull you down to the extent that they will even be at the point of deleting you, just like the lady that you talked about yesterday, about 23 hours ago. The lady in Canada who lost her life, in America who lost her life in Ohio. I listened to that just before this show. They will look for you. So if it is possible even to change locations, to save yourself and your kids, change locations, look for therapy for yourself, look for therapy for your kids, and just talk to the
Yeah.
right people. And yeah,
Yeah.
we have
Thank
to
you
stand
so
up for
much.
ourselves. It is time for us to
Yeah.
stand up for ourselves and be strong and be confident, because we are beautiful. I always say to people, we women are blessed because the way God made us, God gives us an extra strength within us that only comes out when we need it. So we need to go into ourselves and look for that inner strength and stand up for these abusers and take the stance and say, no, enough is enough. So my love for all the women out there, all the sisters out there,
Thank
out here
you.
in the diaspora, going through any type of situation, we are all together, and big hugs. And thank you, sister, for this channel and for doing what
Thank
you are
you.
doing. God bless you.
Unstoppable.
Amazing. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate your contribution. Please, as I'm adding you because of people that are waiting, summarize very briefly. I'm giving each person not more than 4 minutes. I'm going to be doing my timer now. AJ, your
Sister
connection is
V.
still not good. Are you
No,
hearing
no,
me?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here, my
Okay,
sister.
go. Oh, yeah, go.
I, I just wanted to encourage Sister Betty. Yeah. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, you are a very strong woman, very, very strong woman. It takes a strong woman to stand up and leave. Yeah. So let that not be taken from you. And number two, you are the best of moms. Pulling out your children from that situation is the best thing any woman should do for her children. Don't let
Mm-hmm.
these children see the abuses that some of us face and see. And then number three, I want to tell you, you started and you wanted to talk about your religion and your faith. Sister, hold on to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can better advise you than who has gone through this. And I can
Yeah.
assure you from good experience, yeah, do not look back. Don't have a second thought. There is nothing where you left, I can tell you. And then another thing is
Nothing,
the
no.
future is better than you can ever imagine. Hold
Absolutely.
strong, hold tight. People who know me can give my story. Hold very strongly, and it can never be better. It can never be. It can never be better than tomorrow. It will always be good for you. I tell you, don't go back. Don't think about it. And another thing is this: hold on to God, please. Hold on to God
Thank
and
you.
look forward to tomorrow. It is a brighter future there, I tell you. If I can survive and survive so strongly, so more, so much better. I mean, better me, peaceful me, joyful me, healthier me, bolder me, every me good. You will survive, sister. Don't even
Thank you.
think. Don't even think about it. Look at your children. Hold on to God. Hold on to your children. Thank God you've got a profession. Don't worry. The job is going to come. And when it comes, the world will hear about you. I promise you.
Indeed.
Amen.
Take care, Sister
Thank
Amen.
you.
Betty,
Thank
please.
you.
God bless you, my
Thank you,
sister.
AJ. This is the wonderful testimony you wanted to deliver, and the internet was doing
Yes.
totori. Didn't want to say it. You see, the devil is a liar. That devil is a
Yeah.
liar. Thank you, AJ, my
Mm.
darling. Love you, sis. Love you
Thank you.
plenty. Right. Okay, we're moving on very swiftly. Some people are still coming into the unapologetic me. Okay, you're next. Okay. Hi, unapologetic me.
Hello, can you
Unapologetically.
hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. Where are you joining us from and
Oh,
what do you have to say?
okay. Yeah. Um, this is for Betty. Before the Instabri, you are doing a great job, as I always tell you, and the Lord will continue
Thank you.
to keep you and you soar
Amen.
higher. And
Amen.
Betty, this is for you. I'm also a survivor, and just as the last caller AJ said, it is forward ever and backward never. So just keep on the faith and keep thanking God because He saw you this far, and He that has done it is going to do, is faithful to do much more. So, but in the future, when with job and everything, you're much more settled. I would advise you to seek counseling for the children and yourself. It also helps. That therapy also worked for me, and I know that see the testimony you've already started sharing it, and greater testimonies shall abound. And
Amen.
just know that we love you, and God bless you, Betty.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Unapologetic me. I appreciate your encouragement. This is what we need. We need to be there for one another. We need to love one another. In spite and despite of the abusers. This is the Sorosoke generation. We say no to abusers and we support survivors. No, we say no. We will stop, we must stop shaming people who are fleeing away from domestic violence and abuse. It is not right. Christine, your headphones is cracking very seriously. Your phone.
Yeah, let me leave. I don't know why.
Are you using headphones? It's
No,
cracking.
I'm not. I'm not.
Are you
Is
moving?
it?
You moving? Yeah,
Yeah,
we can hear the cracking sound. Yeah,
okay,
maybe
I
if you
can
don't
hear
move
it
so
too.
much, because as you move, it's affecting the sound. But go ahead. Welcome.
Oh, okay. Betty, I just quickly want to say congratulations for leaving. We love you.
Thank
You
you.
are so strong. You are a virtuous woman. You are gentle. You are loving. You have a good family. But don't forget, don't lose sight of the reasons why you left. Remember, this man is not compatible with you. He is very much threatened by your potentials, the things you're capable of achieving. This is why he tried to stop you in Nigeria from working. This is why he carried on to try to stop you when you got to Canada. He is not compatible with you. He feels very inferior. He has anger issues. It may not be about you, but I think he has serious anger issues. He's not supportive. He didn't support you when you need his help. When you needed his help with childcare, he was obstructive. He knew the things you could achieve by working, and he tried to get in the way of working, of your work. His family also are not supportive. Where we come from, when you're married to a man, you're also married to his family. But these family of his are not supportive. So these are some of the reasons
why you should not look back. I think there's someone in the Bible that looked back and turned to salt. I think that was Lot's wife. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's why.
It's Lot's wife.
And
Lot's wife looked back and turned to salt. That's a very good
please
example. We should
don't
remember
look
to
back.
always say that. Don't look back
Yes.
so that you don't turn to salt. Betsy, please don't look back. We need you to be
I'm
solid
not
human
looking
being,
back.
not salt.
Be strong. You've come this far, and you have done the best thing in terms of keeping to your career, persevering with getting a job, and these skills will see you through. You will look back and wonder, why was I emotional? But it's okay to be emotional because you love him. You are loving. He is not. He has anger issues, and the best thing you can do for your children is to take them away from a toxic environment. It's very damaging. But the good thing is you made that decision earlier on in time, and we commend you. We love you. We could feel the pain. I was nearly emotional when you were talking. It's very, very touching. Your story is touching, but you are strong. And your story will touch so many other lives. Women will look up to you and learn from the kind of diligence you showed. Please don't go back. And at this moment in time, I'm not a therapist, but I can tell that your husband has some underlying problems. And this is not for you to feel sorry for him. It's for him to recognize what the problems are and
Yes,
help himself.
I
Some
agree
people
with
are
you.
helpful. You cannot help him. There's no one who
Yeah.
can help him except he recognizes that there's a problem. You cannot simply be angry with a whole world for no reason. He didn't even care about his kids. If the children are being conveyed to school in a car that is cold in Canada, the least he could do is to warm the car. It wasn't for you to be warming the car. You went
Mm.
above and beyond what most women would do. Even I want to pride myself as a good wife, but I wouldn't do most of the things you've done. No, I wouldn't.
Yes,
Not from
yes.
someone who's not reciprocating those good deeds that you were given. Love is reciprocal. When it's one way, it doesn't work. There's no communication. You couldn't talk to him, share your concerns with him. He could not listen to you. Then the blueprints of a successful marriage were not there. So there's no reason to go back. Please, Betty, you've done the right thing. I think for now, all you need to do is to breathe. Just breathe and thank God that you can breathe. You don't need to be in a
Thank
toxic
you.
environment, and don't bother about doing tidying up the relationship, divorce, and all of that. That will come in time. You know, there are
Later.
things
Yeah.
when you do projects, there's this option of do nothing. The best thing you've done is to move. Now it's do nothing but focus on yourself and your children. Well done, Betty. We love you. You will come back in years
Thank you.
to come and tell us, well, I was a survivor and I'm happy that I left when I did. Well done.
Amen.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you so
Thank
much,
you. Thank you
Christine.
so much.
Thank you, Christine. We appreciate you. Love you, sis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Betty, you can see the love flowing. Can you feeling the love?
Yeah, thank you.
You're
That's why
feeling
I'm
the
showing
love.
this.
Oh, don't
I'm
worry.
feeling
People will show you love. That's the thing about our community. Our people are very, very kind. They are. That's the truth. I always say this. Our community, we have more good people than bad people. So don't worry. I will add you to the Canadian group after this, and then I'm going to talk to people. They'll reach out to you. We're going to try and find you counseling. So because your children as well are going to need counseling.
yeah,
Unfortunately,
we're
you
going to
can't
do.
access it through the system because the system does not know what you've been through. You've
Yeah,
dealt with this very privately on your own, which is, is commendable, but it's not always the best route. Okay, but it is what it is. You are where you are now. It's going forward. I don't like looking back. I like what Christine said about Lot's wife. I don't like looking back. Looking back, I like looking forward. We are
yeah,
solution focused on this platform, and
yeah,
whatever you are feeling now, by the grace of God, we're going to make sure that we love you and hug you. Show you that emotional support that will make you strong, that you will come back to this platform. This time around, your face will even be showing on the camera, and you say, "This is me 2 years ago. This is where I am
yeah,
now." You too will now teach other people. This is how I went through it, and this is where I am today. Now you will smile again. Oh, you will.
okay. Thank you so
You will.
much.
You
Thank
will.
you,
Don't
Auntie.
worry. You will.
Thank you.
Miss Estella, you are next. Hello, Miss Estella. Can you hear me? You're on mute. Unmute yourself. Arike, your connection is not good though. Can you connect yourself or what else?
Okay, hello.
Yeah, put your YouTube up, please, so that it doesn't.
Hope
Yeah,
it's not on.
it's still bouncing. Your YouTube is on. If you're coming in, if I once I put you on, please put your YouTube off. Okay,
Okay.
so we can hear you.
I don't have YouTube on. Seriously, I don't know why. My YouTube is not.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. To be here. I mean, I guess all of us who have, maybe most of us have similar experiences. All I can say is the fact that please stay out, because when I was going through my own hell in 2012, one thing when I was researching, you know how like sometimes you look for your own solutions. When I was researching, I found out that there was a statistics like 90% of the time, women that go back to abusive husbands end up dead, especially if you are dealing with a man that is like has insecurity issues. So, I mean, to them, that demon inside them, for you to have left is an insult to their ego, to the demons inside them. So, going back to a man that practically almost killed you is suicidal. That's the truth, and strong because if like just like the other sister said, if I can stay alive till now talking despite everything I lost, believe me, you'll be okay. Initially it's hard, there's always that self-doubt, like is it my fault? You start looking that you did wrong. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't don't do that to yourself, because truth of the matter is this: there are people that are into marriages that are amazing. Marriage is not a bad thing. It's just that some of us are unfortunate to have married devil's personal assistants, who despite every sacrifices made, they still refuse to change. So and just like other sisters have been encouraging you, like I was saying in our US WhatsApp group, I wish I had known of this group when I was going through my own hell. I believe I would have been better. But there's always that tendency, you don't have friends around you to tell your story, people to encourage you, or even pastors will be telling you how God hates divorce, or family members. You don't want to go out because people will be mocking you. You feel everybody's talking about you. Please, I mean, pardon my French. What I say to myself is like the seven that he tore my cornea, practically blinding me. I was like, fuck every pastor, fuck every family member, fuck everybody. Because at the end of the day, it's my life. It's my life. So you get to, you just shut everybody out. Shut everybody out. I mean, thank God there's a group like this where people like us will tell you through, and we are live. Because I guess I mean I know Sister B is trying to like keep everything. The word I had for myself that put me through the darkest days, even days I wanted to go back to him and beg him, because guess what? I was 40 years old, divorced. I felt like and I'm the only daughter of my parents, my brothers, all that whole thing, all my mates are married and all the kids and all. What I told myself was, it was better I came out as a miss alive than a missus in a coffin. So I hope maybe you see it from that angle that there's still better days ahead as long as we trust God. Please.
Thank you.
Thanks. Even how like we're listening to people, and how like I mean I've been out of my hell like since 2012, and you kind of feel like, oh, I'm okay, I'm done with it. But you see, you hear people's stories and you just realize like God, I dodged the bullet, and thank God I'm alive, and I appreciate all of you. God bless all of you. God bless you, Sister B.
Thank you, Miss Edsela. You decided to use the F word properly, and you were just effing and effing. Thank you for effing seriously here tonight. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Bill, you said that people with paranoid personality disorder, PPD, suffer from paranoia and unrelenting mistrust and suspicion for others, even when there is no reason to be suspicious. Yeah. Absolutely spot on. A lot of mental health undiagnosed people everywhere. You can't help them if they don't want to help themselves. Arike,
Hello, Auntie B.
you're welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I feel for the sister Betty. I just want to say that you're going through a very tough time. I went through the same thing, and initially it's very, very hard. Whatever support system you have, your family, your church, just lean on them. The pain is real, and it's probably gonna take maybe up to a couple of years for you to actually. Sorry, your story just really hit me hard. It's gonna take probably a couple of years for you to feel like you're finally standing on your feet. No matter what, remember that going back means he's gonna finish what he almost finished. You know, his goal was to delete you. And I think the thing is, you're such a beautiful and intelligent woman that he cannot handle that. There are men like that, you know, they're threatened by your success. And in that kind of a situation, you just have to, you know, just cut your losses, minimize communication, let it just be strictly official. Whatever you need through Auntie B, may God help us to, you know, contribute in any way, whether emotionally, financially, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I wanted to say is, you know, just two things, please. One is just realize that your level of education never protects you from abuse. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I went through
Definitely.
abuse. You know, I have a doctorate and I went through abuse from a man. So that has nothing to do with it. And people say to leave right away. Remember that it's not that easy because the abuser normally starts with emotionally abusing you. And so you feel like nothing. And so you don't feel like your usual self. But now that you've left, please never look back. And God will continue to help you. And the
Amen.
second thing is, as women, I think, as Auntie B said, don't do too much. Don't do
Mm-hmm.
too much. Let men be men. If they don't want to assume that
Yeah.
role, let them go. You know?
Yeah.
No, why are you the one cleaning up snow? You're a princess. You
Yeah.
you know, I mean, there's a role for everyone, I think, in a marriage, and that
Yeah.
was not yours. You know,
Yeah.
he's the protector and the provider, and so that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, Auntie
Arike.
B, so much.
Yeah.
I love
If you're
your
not,
channel.
thank you. Are you in
Yeah.
our WhatsApp group?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you should definitely join because we are looking for people like you.
Oh, I'll
People who
be
have a
glad
heart.
to.
Yeah, people who
I'll
have a
be so
heart of
glad to.
helping. Those are the people we are looking for. So my number is on the screen. If you take it down and just send me a message and say, "Hey, Auntie B, this is Arike from so and so country," I'll add you to that country's group. Okay.
Thank you, ma. God bless
All
you.
right. Okay. We are looking for people who have a heart to help others. People who have a heart to empathize, that they can feel the pain without necessarily walking in that person's shoes. You can feel their hurt and their pain, and you want to help them. Those are the kind of people that we are looking for. So, yeah, we are rounding up very quickly because I'm not going to stay too long today. We've got a lot of encouragement already. Ola, you are here. And then I'm going to take Annie and Adewale. Hello, Ola.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sweetie. Where are you joining us from?
I'm calling from France.
You're calling from France. Oh,
Yeah.
ça va? Bonjour. Bonsoir.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm going to be fast. I have my notepad. I just want to say the first thing I realize is I just want to note that love is an action word. So for we women, if we try to stop listening to when men tell us they love us, rather we look at what they do, it's going to help us. And from my own personal background, I grew up in a controlling and abusive home, so both for my parents, so my mom and dad. So it's helping me right now because I'm working towards growing myself. So I know when somebody is actually nice towards me, when someone is actually kind, and when they love bomb. And because growing up, my mother, all she knew was how to love bomb you when she needed help or when she needed money from me. So right now, when I meet a new person, a new friend, or a guy, and he's love bombing me, I can feel it because these people are not genuinely nice. And for Mrs. Betty, or Miss Betty, sorry, I think she should, if for one thing, she should stop asking herself why it changed or she wanted to know what she did wrong.
Yeah.
I feel her partner these kind abusers don't really know how to love. They can't give what they don't have. So it's not a
Absolutely.
fault.
Hmm.
She went through the way abusers work is they see you, they interact with you, and the moment they know they can actually control you, they see you as a project. And when he sees that he can control you, they have this arousal like, oh my God, I'm going to control this woman, I'm going to control this man. This is a project for me. And they move into the honeymoon stage whereby they do what you want, what you like, and everything. And when they realize they can actually control you, they show who they really are. So this it comes from their own. Maybe the parents don't never show them love. They never show them care. So he doesn't
Yeah.
know what is love. It can't they think they do, but really they can't show it.
Yeah.
They don't know how he feels. So when he acts in a specific way, it's who he is. It's not your fault. We are very, very empathetic, but these people don't know how to feel. They don't even know empathy. They don't know
They
how
don't
to
have
show
empathy.
it.
It's not everybody
They
that
don't,
can empathize, Yeah.
yeah, they don't, and they also enjoy. They get to a stage whereby they enjoy to manipulate you. They are like rats. They bite you and they blow air onto the spot. They enjoy manipulating, begging you, controlling you. You going, coming back and forth. They enjoy it so much. It gives them this ego. It helps them. It's who they are. It's not your fault. It's just who they are. They don't. This is how they are, and they can't control. And the last part I want to say is they see the victim as an object. They don't see you as a being. This is why they can beat you now, and the next minute they tell you, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know what came over me." No, because they don't see you as equals. They see you as an object. They don't even see you as an human being. And it's not like they have a disorder. It's not like they have a personality problem. It's just who they are. They don't know they don't know how to feel. They don't have love truly. So, and the last thing I wanted to change, I don't know, to say is when some people say we don't need men, we are humans, we need companionship. It's how it works.
Mm.
Everybody needs someone to share with. There are some things
Yeah.
you can share with your parents, with your siblings, but it's going to be different from who you have this love and feelings towards.
I
So,
think
right?
when people say that we don't need men,
Yeah.
what I read from that is that sometimes it's best for you to, like somebody said, self love says something that I pinned there. It's time for you to love yourself, marry yourself for some time, okay? Especially when you've been through a very traumatic situation like this. I think I pinned it a while ago. It is time for you to love yourself, marry yourself, in quotes,
Yeah.
so that you can develop self-love for yourself and know your worth. I'm not saying that she didn't know her worth, but for you to say, okay, yeah, it's Christine that said it. It is time
Okay.
to love and marry yourself. Very, very important. I think that's what that person means. Not
Okay.
that men, we don't like men or you don't need men, but sometimes you just need to pull back and love yourself first.
Yeah, I think for that, most of the time, I went to a stage whereby I thought I had to go through this self-love stage, self-love thing, and I realized for that to actually work, most of the time, you need an accountable partner, friends, true friends that are going to be with you. Which I love the part that you said you have a WhatsApp group where people can actually connect and speak with her, because
Yeah,
she's going to have this self-loathing stage. She's going to get to a stage where
yeah,
going to I question everything. She needs friends
yeah.
with her. It's going to be hard, but I really hope that she pulls through, and I hope the Lord helps her. And
Thank you so much, Ola.
very much,
Thank you.
yeah,
Lovely to have you. We rarely have people from France. I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you, sweetheart. Have a good evening. Yeah, what I wanted to say before we move on, I've got Annie and Adewale, then Nkechi. Nkechi, your connection is not very good. You need to disconnect and add yourself again. Betty, you have
Yeah.
to forgive yourself, okay? You need to forgive yourself. Put it in your daily prayer. Lord, help me to forgive myself for the mistakes that I made, for not putting myself first, for committing all my resources, my energy into somebody that did not appreciate it. Because you're going to be like, what the young lady who just spoke now said. You're going to have some self-loathing for yourself that, okay, why did I do this? If I'd done this, all this money I spent, all this time I spent, all this thing I did in this relationship, if I did it for myself, maybe I would have been in a better place because you've always been a working woman. Okay, right from Nigeria, you told us you were a banker. And I'm sure a part of your brain will be saying, you see, if and this is the devil. He will be saying, oh, all this time you were working, building with a man that does not recognize you. And now look at you now, you're starting from scratch. That's the lie of the devil. Okay? Forgive yourself. It's okay. You are a product of your generation, you are a product of your environment, your culture, you're nurturing your parents. This is how we were raised. We're raised to support and build with the man that we marry. Okay? You haven't done the wrong thing. It's just unfortunate that the person that you built with is not appreciative of your efforts. So please forgive yourself. Don't nag yourself. You need to come to a place where you say, okay, that's in my past. But going forward, I'm moving forward with a clean heart, knowing that between me and God, I'm right. I did the right thing, but it was not reciprocated. But you know what? He is a rewarder. God is a rewarder. And I like the Bible part that said, I'm saying this. I know some people are not Christians in the comment section, please. I'm talking to Betty now because she's a Christian. The Bible says that he is a rewarder. God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. All right. So don't worry. All the years that the canker worm and the caterpillar have eaten, the Lord will restore you. So please forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. That is very, very important. If you forgive yourself, then whatever you've invested in that marriage, it won't hurt you anymore. We had a lady in Canada who came, Abby, and told us, since I've been doing this show, I've not seen a woman that have invested so much in the marriage. When we calculated the money that she invested, maybe you guys just got to Canada. When did you get to Canada? This one, their own is, I think she said it was like how many years, whether it's 14, 15, 16 years. House, everything they bought. The man ruined everything from being homeowners, buying a house, buying this, having business, doing everything. The man ruined everything she worked for in her life. The bank took the house. It will take $100,000 and go to Nigeria. You will finish it. How many of you remember Abby's story?
I
I
remember.
will
I
link,
remember the
I will
story.
link you with Abby. Abby is in Canada. I will link you with her. She's a
Life
strong woman.
insurance.
Life insurance,
Yeah,
you remember that?
yeah, I remember.
But she's in a good place now. If she's looking back based on what she's invested, she will not be able to move on. Once you have life, every other thing is a possibility. Life first, safety first, your well-being first, your children's health first. Forget about money. Forget about what you bought. You bought this, you bought that, you bought house. It doesn't matter. It's you and your children that matters. Okay? And I know that the Lord will help us. Annie, I've got you.
Hey, Auntie B.
Mango Park Annie is here. Oh. Mango Park. Oh. Annie, where have you been? When did you do this to
Auntie
me?
B, sorry, I've been busy. Trying to make
I don't know.
money.
Everybody has been looking for you. You know, we remember you because you are the one that gave us Mango Park has entered dictionary now to describe you. Everybody is saying,
I
who gave us
know.
that name? I say it's Annie with the tiny voice. We've not seen Annie since that time. My people, solution focus. Annie is in the building. Oh my God, I'm so happy to hear from you. How are you feeling?
I'm so happy to be here, Auntie B.
I've
Thank you
missed you.
so,
I've
so,
missed you.
so, so very much for all you do. I always watch them, even though I've not been able to join live. And
Okay. Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You
I've just
okay?
been too busy working.
Oh, working.
I'm
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
Family is okay. Is all right.
Yes, ma. Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank God.
Everyone is good. Thank you, Auntie B. Love you
Annie,
so
Mango
much.
Park. I love you. Mango
Thank
Park,
you.
Annie.
Thank you. Oh
Right.
yeah, all these Mango Park people. There are too many
Mango
now in
Park.
this generation.
There are too
And
many.
unfortunately, we are not our generation, our culture, we were not trained, because finding the right man is a skill that should be
Mm,
learned. But most of us are not, we're not taught that skill. We just believe that as long as I'm a good person, no matter who I marry, my goodness is enough. But your goodness, your kindness, even your spirituality is not enough when you join yourself to a bad person, because a bad person is a bad person. And unfortunately, this kind of people, they don't change. Prayers don't change them, because God is not like demons that possess humans or even animals to make them do something against their will. God work with our choices, with our will. If we decide, that is why even to become a Christian, he said, come unto me. Come, you have to confess, you have to accept him. So this act, this thing of you pray for an abuser to change, they don't change because they don't want to. That is who they are. They are comfortable who they are. Betty, I send you so much love and hug. I feel your pain. I feel how emotionally draining, spiritually, mentally, psychologically draining this torture has been. My heart goes out to you. But there is something, like Auntie Bean knows a little bit of my story. There is something I know, that we have a God that restores. And it does not matter how many years or how many things that has been broken or that has been stolen or has been damaged, as long as you plug consistently onto that God, he will restore everything. But just plug yourself in there. You cry is okay. I used to cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had a friend. Thankfully, I had a friend that we lived in the same house. I would cry so much. I would even go to pastors. It is in going to those pastors, the pain will increase because they made me feel it was my fault. So my friend kept saying, why going to people that always make you feel bad? What is wrong with you? And then I cautioned myself. I stopped going. I lost my self-esteem. You might not feel it now, Betty, but it will come to a place you begin to second guess yourself. Maybe there is something wrong with me. Sister, there is nothing wrong with you. Maybe, why did I attract? I asked myself, why did I attract this kind of wicked, demonic human being? Why didn't I see the signs? And I kept questioning myself. But because you know the answer is because I didn't learn the act of choosing the right person or saying yes to the right person. But Betty, give yourself a hug. You've done all. The Bible says after you have done all, what do? You stand, and you have stood, and you've walked out. Your walking out is actually standing. Hallelujah. Your walking out
Amen.
is actually standing. You're leaving that place. You've done all, and you're leaving that place is actually you're standing. You've done all. There is a song in my dialect that says, the word, look at my hands, they are clean. Betty, your hands are clean. There is nothing that he can hold against you. And for all you have invested, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, mentally, and otherwise, I pray for you today that the God whom you call and whose you are will restore them to you in a millionfold in the name of Jesus. And for your
Amen.
children, I
Amen.
pray that the Lord will help you to begin to remove these things by the things you tell them. Begin to tell them, you see those things you saw there, that is not normal. That is why I left. That is not the way to behave. That is why I left. And as the Lord will help you, whether to take them to therapy, they too will be whole in the name of Jesus. And if you
Amen.
want to, and if you decide that you want to be in a relationship again with another man, the Lord will also help you to have,
Amen.
now that you've
I don't
acquired the
think
skill
so.
to know what to look out for. You will not settle for another demon. You will not settle for any
Amen.
stupid Mongo Park again in the name of
Amen.
Jesus.
Amen. There's
Hugs
a reason
and
why we
love
missed
to
you,
you.
Annie. There's a
Thank
reason
you,
why we
Auntie
missed
B.
you. Thank you. Love you very much. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
An-
Annie.
Annie is the one that gave us that name, Mongo Park. When you hear us say Mongo Park, the day she was talking about her story of my name, Mongo Park in Nigeria, we laugh. She's so funny. Oh my God, she's serious today. Annie is so funny. You will laugh and faint when she's talking. You said that Mongo Park. Oh my God. Thank you, Annie. We've missed you. Please come again soon. Nkechi, unmute yourself, please. Adewale, you're next.
Good evening, Sister B.
You're welcome.
Well done, ma.
Okay, where are you joining us from and what do you have to say?
This is my first time of joining.
Well
Uh,
done.
I'm calling from Ontario, Canada.
You're welcome. Are you in the group?
Ma?
We have a WhatsApp group. Are you on it?
I don't really know much about. I just subscribed about 2 days ago, but
Oh, okay.
I'll look for
Okay.
it.
That's all right. That's fine. You're
Yes, ma.
welcome.
I just want to say thank you for bringing awareness to all this that is going on, because lots of women have been suffering in silence. So thank you, ma, for all your work. God will bless you.
Amen.
And I want to say congratulations to the sister for taking the courage to leave. It's not easy when you have kids. You always think there's no option. So congratulations, you took the first step out. So that's the most important thing. And God will guide you, no matter how rough it seems. God is always there to protect his children. I was actually in tears when she was narrating the story. Even my voice right now is cracking. But God will be with you, my sister. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much.
Nkechi. Spot
Okay.
on, straight to the point. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye,
Thank
ma.
you so much. Bye, sweetie. Lovely to have you. Please come again. We like people like you. Straight to the point, no beating around the bush. Adewale,
Good evening, Auntie B. How you doing?
I'm fine. You know you have a huge fan base on this channel, right? You know that.
I was told
Ha!
that
If you
uh,
see your fans here, there are plenty. Oh. There are so many.
I was told that.
You're
That's really nice
welcome,
to hear. But
sweetheart.
yeah,
Mm.
I'm just going to share my views. Mrs. Betty, thank you for sharing your story. Like I always say, anyone who steps out of a domestic violence situation, I always see them as victors because leaving is actually a very bold step. Most women don't do that. So anyone that does that, it's like you're a victor. That's your first step towards healing and you know making yourself whole again. So, but then I'm also going to talk about the lesson I learned from your story. Yesterday, I said something that if you want to check if a man actually loves you, he has to satisfy two
Mm.
criteria. And I said first, he needs to respect you, and I think that is self-explanatory. But the second one is he has to cheer you on. So I'm going to explain a bit more what I mean by that because I think her story, like it isn't like that. Her story kind of explains that point. When I say a man has to cheer you on, I mean that he has to believe in your dreams. He has to be a visionary in your life and in your dreams. And he has to show that by his action, and he has to be genuine. He has to remind you about your dreams, your career. If that is not there, it's just a dangerous, it's just a disaster because that man can eventually become an abuser. It's like that. It's a pattern I have seen repeatedly in DV cases, like that pattern. Because in her story, I think when she met her husband, he didn't love her. What he had for her was infatuation. Like, okay, I like this lady, she's attractive, without it, but he didn't love her in the actual sense because he didn't believe in her dreams. He didn't. I'm just being honest. That's what I saw in her story. He didn't believe in her dreams. That's why when they got married, he didn't want her to work. He frustrated her. That's a man that didn't believe in his wife's dreams. He didn't cheer you on and he didn't do those things. So please, ladies listening to me, you're dating any man, he tell you he loves you, he tell you he'd buy you everything, he buy you the world. Those things don't matter. They it's not it's how do I say? It's like a cover up on what they're
Yeah, it's
actually
love bombing.
thinking.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's love
it's love
bombing.
bombing. Yeah, it's not
Exactly.
what he says, it's what he does.
Is what he does. He has to believe in your dreams and show you by his actions. Even sometimes he has to remind you of your own dreams.
Mm.
He has that has to be there. If it's not there, I think I have to consider that as a red flag now. If it's
Yeah,
not there,
absolutely. Yeah.
if it's not
Any
there,
man
please
that
walk
tries to
away.
kill your dream or any woman that tries to kill your dream, that's a red flag. They should support you.
Please walk
Love,
away. Please walk away.
Yeah, love means that you support the person in their journey, in their career, what they want to do.
in their
You
career.
encourage them, you
Yes,
are there for them, not to
you're
suppress
there
them
for
and
them.
tell them, why do you want to work? People don't
Don't.
work because of money alone. Sorry, Adewale. They work, some women want to work because it is fulfilling for them that they are bringing value. It's for that, for us women that work, let me say us, because I say it all the time that not working is not even something that I can ever consider, because I grew up seeing my mom work, and my mom raised me with one thing. There was somebody in the comment section that was saying, what if you don't have money to move? That's why
It's not about
now,
money.
uh, you
Shelter
need
is
to,
there. And
yeah, before, while
Yeah.
you are sitting down doing housewife, be thinking about your own financial freedom, because money is power. If you don't
Yes.
have
It,
money, there are so many things that you cannot do. First of
yes.
all, don't get married if you don't have a source of income. Don't even
Yes.
get married. Why are you getting married when you have no money? What are you
Yes.
bringing to the man? He will see you as a liability. Okay? Working is therapeutic. Thank you so much.
Yes. So please, please, and please, I'm going to say it again. He has to believe in your dreams, and he has to show it with his actions. And thank you again, for Mrs. Betty, for sharing your story. I always see on this platform, I learn a lot from this platform. It might seem that I'm coming here to share my views, but I actually learn a
Please, we
lot,
welcome your views. We welcome it,
and
Adewale. You're welcome any day.
it actually helps me. So thank you again, Mrs. Betty, for sharing your story.
Thank
I
you.
want you
thank
to see
you.
yourself as a victor because you've already taken the first step. In
Yes.
DV cases, it usually starts from resentment, bitterness, anger, DV, and then in some cases the final lap is homicide. Like the person end up deleting the other person. And I think
Absolutely.
you're already at the fourth stage. Please
Yeah.
don't go back because if you go back, that's what's going to be waiting for you is going to be that final one, which I pray in, by the grace of God that doesn't happen to you. So please don't consider
Amen.
that for yourself and your kids most especially. Please
Thank you.
don't do that. So
Thank you,
that's all I wanted
Adewale.
to say. Okay.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye, please.
Bye,
Thank you
sweetie.
so much. It's
Somebody
a
is asking whether
privilege.
Adewale is married. Why you put so interested in Adewale's marital status? Christine, why are you asking whether Adewale is married? He's not. He's going to marry at 40. He told us here. And we're all planning his wedding ahead of time. All Obodofan, we're going to attend. We already discussed it yesterday, please. We'll be at Adewale's wedding and we're going to unseat his father.
That's
We
funny.
are we are choosing our Ashobi already, and we are going to unseat his father. We are the ones that are going to be in that wedding, and Awani, we are the Oko, we are the Oko's family, the groom's family that day. One ba, when we land, they will know say yes, and they will get family. Thank you so much, sweetheart. We love you.
Can I
Mama
say
Thomas,
something?
yes, please.
Okay, so just remembered, even where I've gone too far to say I want to go back. It was a
Mm,
thought true thing that there was no future for me there, and I can't keep spinning my wheels, being on the same
mm,
spot, no development. The one thing I noticed too is that he comes around not to the in a rather I stay in a very secured apartment. You need to call the buzzer to have access. So when he comes around, he calls me, picks the kids. And one thing he does to the kids that I don't like is the fact that he poisons their mind. And I tell them, I remind them, I said, have I said anything bad about your father? They said no. I pray for him because he's someone that doesn't even know he has a problem. So I pray for him all the time. And I told them, I have a boy, I have a girl. I said, you're a boy, I don't want you to behave like your dad. In future, do you want it? He said no. The girl, never you accept it from a man. So those I don't even know how much to say this. Those are the things that I looked at and I told the kids, I moved because of you. I could go back to receive the beating, but because of you, I don't want to raise kids in the jungle. You know, because I don't know, I wasn't privileged to get any information that whether his parents were going through that. I think so, because I think his mother was his father's slave, but my
Yeah, it
mom
was
wasn't.
definitely there. It's
Yeah,
definitely there.
because if
And if it's not, his relationship with the children is not healthy, you have a
yeah,
right to stop it.
yeah, and the way he hits the children like he's fighting with them.
He beats the
So
children as
there's
well.
It beats them so well that
Okay, so when
he
I'm
resets
saying
their brain.
no, 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 that's not allowed. No, it's not.
It does
So
not.
you carrying on exposing those children to him is a risk, and you could
No,
get into
it's not.
trouble.
It's not. It doesn't have opportunity of beating them right now. But when we're all together,
He
the
was
only
still
thing
he still poisons them when he sees them. He's still telling them,
is still
things,
telling them,
negative things about you. How old are
yeah,
your kids, if I may ask?
12 and 9
They are still
now for
children. They
this
are
year.
still very
By
young.
December they'll be, yeah.
Do they like going to see him? Do they like it, or you making them?
Two things you can never tell, and I don't want to go through, trying to ask probe further.
Yeah,
But
you need to have
kids,
that discussion with them. They are not too
yeah,
young to understand. You can have that discussion with them if they like interacting with him. Please.
for liking them, I can't say, but I know that they never liked what their daddy did. They never liked it.
Mm.
They don't like it.
And have you ever had any conversation with these kids since you guys left about the whole situation?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
talk to
I
them.
asked them. Yeah, I talked to them. I had to make them realize why I had to move, what we are doing
Mm.
for ourselves to have
Yeah.
peace. And I asked if they're really enjoying their time with me here, and they said yes.
Okay,
So,
they need the children are gonna, yeah, West said it, they're gonna need some counseling as well. They need to
yeah,
see a
yeah,
therapist. You know why? Children
yeah.
they internalize a lot of things. Okay?
Mm,
They're not gonna
mm,
open up to you because they already know where you are mentally and emotionally. And they just want to make mommy happy because they know mommy has been through hell. Okay? So they won't tell you how they really feel. But if there's a safe environment with a therapist, they will open up and say how they really feel. Now they will just tell you what they want you to hear because they want you to be happy. Because
Right?
sometimes children too will blame themselves. They feel responsible. They say, "Oh, my mom is here because of me," or "My mom," So therapy is something that will definitely will need to explore, for your children as well as yourself.
Yeah, my GP actually, I had a conversation with my GP, and he has booked. He has referred me. So
Yeah,
I've spoken with the therapist, and I was booked for December.
yeah,
Yeah,
very
so
very important.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that. Overcomers TV. You're welcome. Unmute yourself, please. Where are you joining us from?
Hello, Auntie B.
Hello, sweethearts.
Yes, so I'm joining you from the US.
Okay,
Yes, and congratulations and thank you for all your work.
thank
I
you.
have been here before. I contributed before during one of the live sessions.
Okay,
And since then, I've just been, a little busy, but, keeping up with every case that comes on. So
okay.
yeah, thank you for this opportunity. And I want to encourage Miss Betty. Miss Betty, be strong. May God be your strength. May God give you strength and, lift you up every time that you experience a low moment. I have a.
Overcomers, can you speak a bit louder, please? I don't know whether you're tired or
Oh,
maybe you are
sorry.
somewhere you can't speak. People are saying that they can't hear you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hmm.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, let's see some energy in your voice. You sound like you just finished a 10 hours shift.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so anyways, I was just encouraging Miss Betty, just encouraging her, telling her that that may God give you strength, every time that you feel low. I have a few points here that I'm going to, highlight on. Some of them have been mentioned, but hopefully I add something different to some of them. Like the beginning one and one of your lessons also that you've pointed out that women in general, young, old, middle age, not every man that comes professing love that you would just trail behind them and stuff. And that beginning stage usually of the trend that will eventually become abusive is this love bombing that everybody's talking about, and which is what was happening to you, but you just didn't know differently. You just took it for, oh yeah, this is love and he's trying to win me over and he won me over. No, but it was a calculated game right from the beginning. So that is that. And then the second point is about the type of women usually who would, who falls for this. Like you mentioned, you're a soft-hearted person, and yes, that's one good characteristic of victims usually, because we grow up. You're not the type that you test the waters. You're not the type that you're around. You've not explored. So yes, this one person comes and you're like, oh yeah, he's okay. He's suitable, so I'll just go. And so with no experience in dating, and not knowing exactly even what dating is about, and what dating should be, and what you should be doing during dating, it becomes very challenging. And also, I want to also encourage women also who would listen to this, is that dating is a phase. And Sister Betty, you coming out from this situation, you're going to go back into the world. You hopefully would live life again. You would get into the dating world, hopefully. And so it is an art that needs, I believe that one of the things you can start working on now is start learning about dating. What is dating? What should be happening during dating? What are some goals that I should have, and what are some things I should be looking out for, you know during this time, so that it will occupy you. And you would also not, hopefully spend too much time, when those thoughts come flooding your mind, if you should go back or not. And then another point is, yeah, when those thoughts come, they will come. That's why I say when. Every now and then, yes, you've gone too far, yes, but sometimes the thoughts will come back. Like, should you go back? Should I consider? When those times, please ask yourself, what are you going back to? What are you going back to? If everything you've experienced, all the negative, it's bitter, the bitter taste, if it's a constant reminder to you, that would deter you from even spending time on that topic. Like, even if the thought flashes your mind, immediately, it probably should be a point of prayer, even like, God, help me to remember the things this man has done to me, which will prevent me from going back, to that same situation. I mean, example of the thing he did for your work, he took out the Wi-Fi cable. Think about it. If you're in a workplace, and a colleague did that to you, that colleague is your enemy. They don't want your progress. And you would never even sit down to have coffee with them. You would never even say hello to them. You know, they become your enemy. So this is the case, and this is how this is the mentality that you have to develop towards this situation, which will help fortify you, um, towards dealing with and moving on. So and today I encourage you to forgive yourself. It's also important that you forgive him. Forgive him. You've said that you pray for him. That's a very good thing. Continue to pray for him, because he's still the father of your children. Like we all know. So the children will still interact with him. So you want to pray that God will help him to, grow into a better person, so that when he's interacting with the children, it will be, positive
Yeah. Overcomers,
experiences.
can you summarize now, please? You've done 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to summarize.
Mm.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you
There
too.
is this that Sister B. I believe there's somebody who came on your show and talked about this program of a manufacturer's manual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that,
Yeah.
maybe we can encourage Sister Betty to engage in that, so that she would help to discover herself more,
Yeah, I
and
think I'm going to try and bring that counselor to this show. I'm going to try. I hear he's very busy. He's in Nigeria. He's very, very busy, but I'm going to try and see what we can do to get him here to talk to
yeah,
people generally. So that it's
yeah,
not only Betty, everyone will, even if he's not having the user's manual session, just for him to,
yeah,
counsel people and talk to people about
yeah,
women, about relationships. And
yes.
that would
And
really be
please,
nice.
please,
Mm.
one thing, self-defense. I think it's time that women start learning self-defense.
So, Solution Focus actually said that in the comment section.
uh
Mm.
So like the issue, different tactics where how people can attack you even physically, you will switch into self-defense mode, if we have some of these skills handy. So my prayer for you, Miss Betty, the many years that the canker worms have eaten, God will help you recover them and He will reward
Amen.
you greater in
Amen.
Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much, Overcomers TV. Please do not come into the studio again. Thank you, Overcomers TV. I appreciate your contribution. I just have two people, and then we are ready to call it an evening. Hanat, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Auntie B. How are you? So
I'm good,
lovely to be
thank
here.
you. Lovely to be here.
So
Is that a
lovely. Thank
select
you.
cap I see on your head?
It is. Hallelujah, my darling sister.
Hallelujah. Yes, Celestian like me.
I
Oh,
am. I am. I know
Jesus is
you.
Lord.
Amen. I know you
You're
very
welcome.
well. Very
Thank
well.
you.
Very well. Um, Thank you so much for the opportunity to come through and to Sister Betty. You know what? What I was going to say, my focus changed. I wasn't actually going to say anything, but my focus changed when you mentioned the fact that your children are still having starting contact with their dad. Not that I am saying that they should never do that, but I want you to really listen, putting on the hat of a professional here. You really need to be mindful. I've heard what you said when Brother Adewale spoke, and you said you're not going back. I'm really, really glad because I was going to be saying that, but it seems like you're not going back or you're at a crossroads. We're all survivor. I am a survivor, and everybody can do it. You can do it, but you really need to focus on your children. They are your future, and if children have seen abuse, and they will see it as something that's normal. Like you said something before, Auntie B, you said, these children need counseling, that they might be protecting you, their
Yeah.
mother, Sister
Yeah.
Betty, by not
Mm-hmm.
actually telling you the way they are feeling.
Yeah.
Um, Auntie B asked, asked you something. She said something about, do you feel safe? And I've seen comments. People are asking, do your children feel safe? In the company of a person that did such atrocity. You have to say it as it is. They are atrocities.
Yeah.
Somebody that did such atrocities towards you, do you feel safe when your kids are with this person? The situation is not resolved. Your children, you don't actually know how they are feeling. Their hearts, they're 12 and 9, such an impressionable age,
Yes.
whereby, you really need to, you need to take a stop with the kids and have that honest conversation. And Tibi was asking that. Do you ever ask your children if they really want to go? You ask that. And Miss Betty, it's too hard, my darling. It's hard. When everybody's saying it's hard, trust us, it's hard. But these are conversations that really needed to be heard so that we can protect the children from emotional trauma. And if
Mm-hmm.
your kids are already traumatized, pardon the word, they
Yeah.
are. They've seen atrocities. They've been like in a war zone. You really not need to start taking a step back and start protecting their mind, protecting
Yeah.
their heart.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard. It has to be hard. This conversation needs to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy going to your daddy? Do you feel safe going to your daddy? And do you know what, Betty? Can I call you Betty because you're my sister? Let's remove me. Do you, Betty, feel safe the minute your children get into that car and that car goes off? Where is your heart? Where is your mind? You really need to be strong. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
are afraid for you.
Mm-hmm.
My father used to say something that, kò séèyàn tó lè gbàdúrà fẹ́yàn tó fẹ́ nǹkan ju èèyàn tó fẹ́ nǹkan yẹn fúnra rẹ̀. You get
Hmm.
me? So you know what you want. You know the right thing, my darling. You know the right thing. You've done the first step. The second step now is to start healing your children and don't put them at risk. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You're
Thank you.
incredibly brave. I'm sending you love from London. You're amazing. You can do it. Gbogbo ìkólọ, it's there in the Bible. When the
Yeah.
Lord kind of like
Mm-hmm.
returns there, you'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The person speaking to you right now was in a place whereby people thought she never will be. I am
Hmm.
in a sprawling home with myself and my children, a huge home. I'm not in a village, I'm in the city. it is doable. Like Tantalizer said, like all those strong women have said, is doable. But my darling, those two children, you need to look after them. Stay safe.
Thank
Auntie
you.
B,
Thank you
thank you,
so
thank you.
much.
Thank you so much. You're just
Thank you,
amazing.
Hannah.
You're
Thank
a
you.
hero. You're a hero.
Thank you.
Hallelujah, my darling sister.
Thank
Hallelujah.
you. Thank you, sir.
Hallelujah. Lovely to have you. And I
Thank
would
you
like to
so
see
much.
you again, my
Thank
Christian
you.
sister.
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you.
much.
I'm a
Amen.
double wow.
Amen.
Thank
Amen.
you
Amen.
so much.
Bye bye,
Thank
darling. You're
you. Bye bye.
amazing. B, you're
Thank you.
amazing. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye. Love you very much, my sister. God bless you. So, as Hannah was talking, I just wanted to tell you this, Betty. You're a Yoruba woman, and I know that a lot of Yoruba women, we've talked about it here on this platform, they give a lot. They do give a lot for marriage and relationships. But remember that Yoruba saying, pé ilé ọba tó jóná, ẹwà ló ń bù sí. Always have that at the back of your mind, pé. So the literal translation of that is that the king's palace that is burnt down is going to be rebuilt in even greater glory. So it just means that when you are rising from the ashes of everything that you've been through, you're going to be more beautiful. You're going to be better. You're going to be stronger. You're going to have more glory. You're going to have more testimony. That is what it means. And that is a word you need to take from this alongside what everyone else has said to you tonight. Bill, you are here. We are going to find wife for you and Adewale on this platform, whether you like it or not. We will do wedding for you.
Auntie B, I won't go back to celibacy.
No. You which kind of yes celibacy? I dey look you. I know say you know if you do celibacy. Stop that thing when you dey talk. We
Okay,
go find
no,
wife for you. No
no
worry.
problem. As far as say the credit score high and you get 75K and above.
And above, your requirement no plenty. No, only credit score. Now you dey look for and
Yes, so
75K and above.
yeah, we
Over
don't
Tom,
want liability.
you know what liability? I like that.
Anyway, I did joke. Oh, now God,
I know.
now
I
God get
know.
power.
God
Okay,
is
so
good.
first of all, let me just spend 2 minutes, 1 minute to congratulate our sister in the house today for sharing your story and for your victory, because we call this victory. You're victorious. Because sometimes you don't know what could have happened. At least you've been on this platform. You heard so many stories, many gone sour. I know you did well. So we'll just congratulate you for that. So once there's life, there's hope. Everything will work and fall into place, right
Amen.
places in time. Then to all of us viewers here listening today, I want to just share this what I've learned today. Number one, I enjoy what the other caller said. Do not be like Lot's wife. Looking back. So what that means is this. In today's marriage, we know that definitely once you provide a red flag to your partner, whether woman or man, letting them know that you're about to leave that marriage, that thing can cause a lot of danger, damage, bad thoughts from the other person, and they can go about it and they might not be able to handle it well. So once you set yourself on the mission not to look back, you have to develop your strategy and know that the timing is important. And also make sure to report. I repeat again, report anything. In fact, there's no crime for reporting. It's called red flag. So once there's red flag, tell the police there is a red flag. This man talked down on me or this woman talked down on me. Every time, these are key words. They just want one or two statements that the person keep repeating. Like for instance, you think you are the only nurse in this US, both your nurse and everything, I will scatter everything for you. That is a red flag. So before they abuse you physically, whether male or female, they first of all abuse you emotionally. So once the emotional abuse is kicked off, then know that you are going to the second level, which is physical abuse. So please let us do the right thing. Let us do the right thing. Let us protect ourselves, protect our children. We don't want to be hearing this one died, that one not die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even though whether man or woman, I'm not talking on gender here. Because if you're a man, you have sister. If you're a woman, you have brothers, right? If you are a woman, you have kids. or a son or something. So it's not about talking like a man or talking like a woman. No, this is equal right for everybody. Make sure that everybody is okay. So we don't want to. We want to try to minimize our nation, Nigeria, or African origins being in the news too much for the wrong reasons. Like this one murder that one not murder that one. So please
Absolutely.
go ahead and report what you need to report. Okay?
Amen.
So that is what I
Thank
want to share.
you.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Before I let you go, Bio, somebody is
Mhm.
asking, Gigi is asking in the comment section, are you earning 100,000 and above
Yes,
yourself?
I am. Yes.
Okay, he's answered the
So
question. Gigi,
yes,
he's
yes,
answered the question. No, if you are shooting your
yes,
shots, let's just know because we are going to do
yes.
so many weddings.
I'm a software
Thank you.
developer, so I don't want to marry liability. I want
You
to
don't want
secure myself.
liability.
If I marry
I
you,
support you.
if anything happen, we will not be fight. We don't need to fight. We'll share it everything 50-50. Go your own, I go my own.
50-50.
And that's so it be.
Lobaton.
So
Thank
but
you, my brother.
thank you, man.
Bio, they always crack us up for here. I swear, he's so much fun. Very lovely guy. Honestly, he has a sense of humor. He's very very playful. So Bio, no worry. You and Adewale will go find on a wife sooner or later. Solution focus. Yes, you are not the least, but you are last. Nobody should come again after. When solution focus don't talk, case is settled. Nobody can talk again.
Oh my God, Sister B. Good day to you. I know say night on the reach for that side, but now
Eh,
day for us for here. So good day to you once again.
thank
Thank
you.
God for another opportunity to be here today, alive and healthy. Mm. You know when Sister Betty just dey talk her story, and you know the part where sweet me pass. When he say the man slap her, in return the slap. If you see as that thing sweet my belly, e sweet my belly. Because as women, we need to learn self-defense. You not suppose that now that one it is becoming more and more obvious now. Because when they see people for gym, they do taekwondo and judo and boxing. When they look, they say, how did they do these people? Oh, more there's a reason, no. There's
That's
a
what Bio talk.
reason.
Oh, it doesn't people they train for gym so that they will fit beat up other people well. Oh.
Yes, yes,
Eh?
Apollo joined that method of thinking because there's no use. I don't want to be hopeless in any situation. If you carry hot, come and carry volcano, follow you
But you not
too.
good to reach that point now.
Eh, but as
You
we
not
be
good
now,
now.
as we be, we the planner. As we be now with all these things that is happening, we they enter, they expect that this thing go happen. We know the planner now. Life, see, now two things they let happen for life, Sister Betty. Anything will happen to a person for life, right? Now to either to learn, you are either learning or you are getting blessed, right? So this situation will happen, as sad as it is, and all of that. I see you as a victorious person because why? You are here, you're sharing your story. You come out from a place of pain and you're able to share your story. People are listening to you. People that are about to make any decision now, they will think twice before they make. Hopefully, knock on wood, they go think twice before they make decisions. Say, okay, oh, make I date there, may I just dey manage the situation. And your children that saw you go through that, the fact that you left, you separated yourself from that man, you have taught them something. Because they're going to say, when they grow, when they're much older, they're going to remember, this is the reason why my mother left then,
Left. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because of that, you have given them a strength that you don't even know that you have given them.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So I want you to be taking the pointers from this. It's not all sad. Your story is not all sad. I was
Hmm.
very happy in areas that you were able to stand and do the right moving, separating yourself and going to a place to retreat it came from a place of strength. Not everybody can do that. We listened to a story yesterday. The woman, it wasn't the first time they've reported cases of abuse, but guess what happened to her? She died
Hmm.
in the hands of her husband. But your
Two in
case is not like that.
1 week. You forgotten the other one in Canada as
Exactly.
well.
And the
Hmm.
other one in Canada.
Yeah.
So, think about that too, Sister Betty. You have come out from a place
of pain and you're victorious. The fact that you left tells me that you already have strength that is inside of you. You already have what it takes to go through this, come out on the other side a more powerful and potent person. That man already knew. Men have intuition just like women do. Men can tell the strength of a woman. What they do is the weak ones, so the ones who are not get sense, they want to, because they are intimidated or because they feel like you surpass them, they want to break you. But guess what? Because you already have that strength inside of you. You didn't even know you had it. Okay, things happen to us. You might have the best intentions and you will meet people that don't care, that'll take advantage of you, abuse you for the kind of person you are, your good natured person. But that is just proving the strength you already have on the inside of you. So I'm glad that you left. And like everybody else has already echoed, please don't turn to salt. Do not look back.
Don't look back.
I know it's gonna be painful. We've all been through heartbreak, or whether we've been married or not. Me, I've never been married, but I have suffered heartbreaks. I know what it's like. Okay? But every day you wake up, you've already won. Every day you sleep and you wake up without him, without going back, you are winning. You are becoming stronger. Every second that you can go through your day without carrying your bags and saying, no, you know what, I want to go back, you are winning. You are getting stronger, right? Think about that and think about the future of your children. It's no longer about you now. Meaning, I'm not saying forget yourself. What I'm saying is now you have people, children that are looking up to you. They've seen the strength that you had to live. They need to continue to see that.
Amen.
Because you want them to make healthy choices when they're much older. You have already taught them one valid lesson, that don't take anything from an abuser. Leave. That that thing has sunk into their subconscious. They will forever remember that.
Oh yes.
Don't Monday morning quarterback. Do not go back. Do not go back. Don't turn to salt, please. Keep your eyes focused. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be hard because it's emotions, it's all of that. But breathe as you go. Cry if you need to.
Yeah.
Please. Tears
Absolutely.
are very, very, they will redeem you. They will refresh you.
Oh
Cry,
yes.
shout if you need to. Lock yourself and just shout, or check yourself into a hotel room when you know you're feeling some kind of way and just cry. I'm telling you, and come out of there. If you're the kind of person that likes outdoors, right? Take a walk. Go for long walks. It helps. It will clear your mind. Find a lake or a river or whatever, a beach near you. Just take a walk. I'm telling you, you will heal. You will be healing. And you know what? Your healing may be faster. It might not take years. Some people's healing is 3 days, they're over it. Some days, some 1 week, some 2 weeks, some 3 weeks, sometimes years. It just depends on where God is taking you. We don't know where God is taking you. Only He knows. But you have to keep holding on to Him. Even in the difficult days, remember, you are not going, a dog does not go back to its vomit, as they say.
Definitely.
Do not go back to your now vomit, you vomit am. You know they go back. Refuse to go back. Continue. Be crying and be going forward. Be crying and be going forward. Once in a while, look in your rearview mirror so that you will see if anything is pursuing you that is not of you. That is what you should remember, because all I saw in your story is strength. What I saw is strength. I don't see any weakness. I don't see a victim. I see a victorious person. Your story has ended well. Now,
Amen.
to the people that are listening, our ladies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here we are again, with another story to help us make better decisions for the future, because we are trying to breed healthier generations. Please let
Amen.
us learn. Please, for God's sake, let us learn. Go and join a judo class, even if it's just for self-defense or boxing. That doesn't mean that you're going to be a fighter in your marriage. It's even good because as a woman, you never know where you're going to find yourself. God forbid, we are not praying for anything bad, but it's just good for your mental and physical state to be alert. Okay, even if it's just for fun. I did taekwondo, but it was just for defense. I didn't do any serious things. It's just for defense purposes and because I had time. So just, whatever is going to be fun for you, even if it's boxing, going to boxing and just boxing the sack, do it. Something just to get your mind and, soul together. And Sister Betty, if you're the type of person that would enjoy exercising is a very, very fantastic way to get over stress and get over all these things that you're going through. If you're the kind of person that can run on a treadmill, if you run, your mood, everything will be different about you. And
Yes.
you start to develop your own physical strength as well. Start slow. You don't have to do like everybody else, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So we need to start making better choices. We need to start doing better for ourselves and for the generation we are bringing and for the generation after them, because your story will be told. What story do you want your children to tell about you? What stories do you want your great grandchildren to know about their grandmother? Those things are very important. There are stories of my grandparents and great grandparents that I've heard that has inspired me even till now. So let's not forget that, because I think we think in short terms, but we should also think in long terms.
Long
Let's
term,
do better.
absolutely.
No man or woman is allowed to abuse anyone. Zero tolerance. If a man
Zero.
raises his face, call the cops. Let him go to jail and let
Yeah.
his mate beat him up. Let him
Yes.
learn some lesson. Let's stop
Let him go and
hiding
fight
bad
there. Since he
behavior.
knows how to fight,
Yes,
Shebi, let him go and fight in the
exactly.
jail.
Let
Yeah.
him go and fight
And
in
do
the
not feel
jail.
bad about it. I,
No,
I had to. You guys saw that my mood changed because as much as I like people contributing, I don't like people bringing in. You come and say something that is wrong. Cause okay, I like that brother. He said some very valid things here, but he got that one wrong when he was saying that. Oh, with everything she went through, she didn't spoil his record. Oh, that's a kudos to her. She's thinking about her safety, her well-being. It is not her that will be thinking of spoiling somebody's record. If you don't want your record to be spoiled, don't put your hand on another person. It's simple as that.
you do the crime,
You
you
do the
go
time.
in for it and you do the
Obaton,
time. It's
that's
just
it.
that simple. And they
That's
have
it.
to start learning, because if 1, 2, 3, 10, 10, 50 women are reporting cases, I'm telling you, this men will change. They will change fast. Why? Because the reason why it's happening so often is because we know they report them. Because we keep thinking, the society will say, his family will say, who gives? Are you the one? Are you? Is it his family that he's beating on and he's doing all these things to? It's not them. So we need to stop all this one of cowering and hiding bad people so that they will not. Did they consider you when they were doing their bad acts? Did they think about it when they go to work and their bosses annoy them? Do they slap their bosses?
Exactly. They fight in public. It's only the poor, defenseless wife inside the house that they know how to punch.
Exactly. That they will know how to punch. No, let them go and learn how to punch their mates in jail.
There is no
Let
excuse.
them go and become somebody's CC in jail.
There's no excuse. No
Let
excuse
them
for
go and learn.
physical
So please,
violence.
let's stop covering bad behavior. Now make our country bad as it bad. So we're covering bad behavior. Anybody, man or woman, he trying. If you say you want to say he's strong and your power, you want to exert that energy, call the cops. Let him go to jail and go and fight with his mates. It's simple.
Yeah.
If you do the time,
Lobaton,
come out in eye go clear. Next
well.
time, you go even become inspirational speaker. You go come, they talk
You
all
go
the
turn you go
Nigerian
turn to
men.
motivational speaker. Now you
Yes,
go turn to motivational speaker, begin
they
they
want to
cancel other
warn
men,
all the
say
men.
don't do it though. By the time you cannot
Exactly.
get a job, it's because you are a good person.
I'm
A good
telling
person is a good
you.
person. If he's a vindictive woman,
Hmm.
he will lose his job. He will lose because Oyibo know they like all those kind things at all. And a lot of jobs they do your check, criminal check, what they call it,
Exactly. Background check.
criminal record, background check. And if they see that you have a domestic violence against you, that's it. You're not gonna know why they go fire him. They will just let him go.
Exactly. They're
And
gonna
then if he's
fire.
not able to get job for 3 months, he will lose his house. Okay?
Exactly.
And then you begin to say,
Exactly.
this woman has ruined my life. I'm not saying
Eh,
go and do it, but brothers, please Or any of you that's Hokogan there, whether you are man or woman, you are Tony Joshua, you can fight.
Thank you.
Don't do, if you do it, then you have to suffer the consequences.
It's that simple.
He got along, he got away with it because you are a good, you are just somebody that I don't know. God bless you, and God will bless you. God will bless you. He will triple your blessing because of the fact that with everything, somebody is trying to kill you. And this is Canada that is so sparse in some of your cities. One house here, you go see another house, then nobody. Winter, everywhere cold. Everybody is shocking for his house. Wear big jacket. They protect themselves. Nobody come out. Imagine a woman going to warm car for man.
I
You're going
beg
to
you.
warm car for
That
him.
na man, not call a man again, Biko. He's not a man. That's
What is
not a
the
man.
protection? A man is supposed to protect his family.
Exactly.
A
So he's
real
not a
man is supposed to
man.
protect his wife,
He's
protect
not a
your
man.
family.
He didn't show himself to be a man. And you know what, though? Yes, you're a good person. Yes, you're kind. Yes, you didn't want to get him in trouble. But we need to change that mindset
Yes.
because what happens is, okay, now he's gotten away. Guess what? He's going to marry someone else.
Another person,
And he's
yes.
going to make, God forbid, hopefully that person survives
The,
it. What if the person does not survive?
the next person might not survive it.
Might
Remember
not
what
survive
happened?
it. The reason
The
why
story we
Oyibo
shared
people,
yesterday.
exactly.
The wife
Thank you.
warned the new wife, pé, don't marry that man, no. Kò gbádùn, wèrè, aláṣọ ni. But she didn't listen. The first wife survived it, but the second wife did not survive it. That is why it is good for the records to be there.
Exactly. It's very important. Don't be, yes, it's good to be nice. I'm not saying don't be nice, don't be kind, don't be whatever, but there are certain things that and no one should go unpunished for. This kind of thing, so that another woman will not fall victim. Do you know how many victims we have in Nigeria? Do you know how many graves of
Don't even go
innocent
to
people,
Nigeria. My
women and
WhatsApp is
men?
full. My WhatsApp is full. Today I was just saying to my PA, I said, oh my God, what are we going to do? We need to find funding. This woman sent me this very heartbreaking story today of the kind of, and if you see the man, you say, oh, this is a family man. He's a full-time family man. They are all dressed in the same colors, wearing the same ashobi, be doing husband and wife. And I'm like, you know, the problem with the women in Nigeria, a lot of them don't have finance. They don't have money. Because it's the man is the
Yes.
breadwinner, is the one that brings money. So I'm like, please, if anybody has knowledge of how we can get funding, like we can get organization to fund this program or to fund the work that we are doing, I would really love to help such women, but we can't do it at the moment. We just cannot because we don't have funding. We need we need to get funding because if you see the story, you will cry. But what can I do? She said, I just want to move away from him. I cannot. I don't have money to rent her. You know, young girl, they married her off. She's like twice the man's age.
Hmm.
The man, everybody for the compound, all the neighbor, the children, all of the night they sleep with.
We can crowd fund for her. Such a person, we can just pull funds together, at least for starters, so that she can move away, get a place of her own, find
She
out what
wants
she
a place
wants.
of her own. How can she get a
Okay.
place of her own without money? How can she get money to sustain herself, pay the children's school fees? Nigeria is expensive. Nigeria.
No,
That's why I
no,
don't
that's
even want to go there.
yeah,
Anyway,
no,
if anybody
yeah,
wants, I mean, if you have
yeah,
any
crowd.
knowledge
So
about how we can get
we
how
can
we
just pull,
can get
yeah, if she
funding.
has an account, if she has an account and anybody who's interested, who feels this story can just put money in there, right? Because dollars now compared to naira is very big. Even if she can get a small place of her own and be managing while she situates herself, she wants to get a job or she wants to start a business, we can try to support her to start small business so she can feed her family. That we
It
can
is
do
well.
that. Yeah, we can just
Thank
put it
you.
out there and whatever. Yeah,
BG, you
because
said GoFundMe. GoFundMe, don't you need to finish the GoFundMe before you can get the money out? I hear that GoFundMe is a complicated thing, and it's not something you can do for like different people. You have to be specific to the whatever. I don't know, but we'll talk about it later. Thank
yeah,
you
we
so
can.
much, Solution Focus. I want to end now.
Sure.
Thank you for your
Thank
contribution.
you, sis.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
yeah. Yeah. Do you have one last thing you want to say to Betty before you leave? I want to end at 3 hours. Yeah. Solution focus. Oh, the internet. Internet don't kick her out again. This is your internet. We need to sue them. Anyway, Betty,
Yeah.
how you feeling, my sister? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm
You're
feeling
taking notes. I
relieved.
see it's like you've been writing. Are you taking notes?
Yeah, I've been taking notes of
You're a
every
very
advice.
academic person. I can tell. Very,
No,
very
might be.
academic. You wrote
No,
everything
exactly.
down, and now since everybody, I've just been looking at you, you've just been writing, writing, writing. So you were taking notes. So that's good. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone that's been here tonight. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you for uplifting our sister. I'm going to draw the curtains here today. If you want to help, first of all, before we get to the help, I just want to say that if you are in a domestic violence relationship, hmm, do not stay there and keep quiet, praying and hoping that it will get better. Abusers never change. Come forward. Stop hiding under the shadows and expecting miracles to happen. Abusers never change. Come forward. If you live in a diaspora, by the grace of God, with the help that we have in most of the countries across, the diaspora, we can get you help. So please send a message to WhatsApp. If you want to support our work that we are doing here, we are open to donations, please, because the work we do in the background is even more than what we do here. When we come here and sit down here, what we do here is just few hours. It's a non-stop work. Like my line has become like a hotline, and it's not meant to be. The issue is, like I said it many times here, we've not scratched the surface. It is too deep and ugly what a lot of people are going through. So please support us. Let us help as many people as possible. If God lays it in your heart, support us. I can't do it by myself. So, Sister Betty, do you have anything you want to say before we close?
Okay, I just want to thank Obodo fan and all the people that have advised me and supported me one way or the other. I'm really relieved. I know this is a family, and the great thing God is doing is that you don't know me and you want to help. That goes a long way. And I will continue to remain in this family because I'm getting the best from this family. And I want every other person to learn from everybody's story. It's not just a story, it's an experience, it's something that
Yeah,
has gone through so that no other person will go through it. There are different types of red flags. You can't exhaust the list. It's only when you listen to other people's stories. And there's
yeah.
always say something in Yoruba that okay, anyway, I'm not too good in Yoruba. Àwọn èèyàn máa èèyàn máa ń pé gbọ́n ni. We come together to learn and to be
Mm-hmm.
wiser. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is. So please, 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 please see all
Yeah,
those red flags and stay very far and run. You don't have to stay married. You don't
yeah,
have to go through what I went through. I survived it,
yeah.
and just another person might not survive the same thing. And I know that a lot of women that are even going through worse things are still there. You need to pull out. Look at the brighter future out there. God is always there for each and every one.
Amen.
Thank you
Amen.
very
Thank you
much.
so
And
much, my
thank you,
sister.
Auntie B.
Yeah, I will
I
come.
appreciate
Yeah,
you. Okay,
you're
I
welcome.
will talk right at
We'll
the
talk
back.
on WhatsApp. Yeah, we'll
Okay,
talk on
no problem.
WhatsApp. Thank you so much. Thank you for being so strong, so brave, so courageous. Your healing is permanent in Jesus' name. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, I can't see all the comment, but I think some people have some ideas there about how we can raise some funds. I don't know what to do. The need is too much. It's heartbreaking. I shared it with my PA today. I said, look at it again. Look at another one. What are we going to do? And what are we going to do? I spend a lot of my money. A lot of people contribute as well, but it is not enough. The need is too much. The need is too much. Please, people, if you have any idea of how we can get sponsors, people who can really donate to help people, like these are the people that will come. If you see the way this woman was begging me, please don't reply. Don't reply to this. He checks my phone. Don't reply. Don't reply. I'm like, Kilele insane. What is all this? And this is not made up stories though. We verify them. We're not going to just send money to anybody without verifying their circumstances. Okay? Like all the people we've helped, we know. And that's why I was saying I was very, very careful about branching or taking people from Africa. The need in Africa, whew, it is well. Please reach out to me on WhatsApp, and my contact is on the screen. And we've got PayPal, we've got Cash App. Whatever else we need to do, to be able to help more people. I'm open. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. I am back on Tuesday, and on Thursday, we've got a man coming. Yay! For the first time, hooray! We have a man that is coming to testify about his survival of a very, very dangerous and, Delilah situation. Yeah, on Thursday. But Tuesday, I have somebody else that's going to come throughout this week and next week. Oh my God, it's back to back. God is helping us. Thank you so much for your support, my people. I'll see you on Tuesday. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching later, yeah, give it a thumbs up and reach out to me in whatever capacity that you can help. Yeah, we are breaking the silence, Gigi. We say no to abuse. Nobody should abuse anybody. Yes. We are looking for, Estella, you can do a global domestic violence fundraising campaign. Okay, I'm happy for people to take the lead. I can't do everything by myself. So anybody that knows about things like that, how we can do fundraising, we need a lot of resources. We've got people already. What we need is money. That's the truth, because without money, you cannot do much. Right? So please join hands with us. Let us do this work. I can't do it by myself. Let's continue to do the work of the Lord. May the Lord help us. Thank you so much, everyone. I will see you on Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on Obodo Oyibo TV. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you live in Canada, look out. I'm going to add Betty. I'll add her tonight so that we can start working with her to see how we can build that emotional support for her so that she can be whole by the grace of God going forward. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. I love you. Bye-bye. Bye.